Day of Giving is an incredible opportunity for all of our Golden Knight supporters to make a huge impact on our student athletes' lives. Our student athletes depend on you to support them in their efforts on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. We know our student athletes are the best and the brightest, but without your support, they cannot achieve at the levels they currently do. Please consider making a gift to Gannon Athletics on this year's Day of Giving.
And with that, we welcome you in for the second consecutive year. It is our Gannon Athletics Day of Giving live stream. Welcome in, everybody. We're in our beautiful new athletics recruiting lounge here on this Friday, April 24th, as we are smack dab in the middle of our annual Give Day. I'm Isaac Petcash. Can't wait to be with you over the course of the next few hours. We're going to be doing two live streams, one this morning and one this afternoon, as we talk all things Give Day. Of course, we know that this is such an important day, not just for Gannon Athletics, but for Gannon University as a whole, with an opportunity for you in the community to be able to give your gift and make sure to support our student athletes, coaches, and staff who do such an incredible job both on and off the field of competition. So much to get to today. We're going to be talking to so many teams. You'll see some of the information across your screen below as to how you can donate. You can also go to that QR code in the top right-hand corner of your screen, or you can scan the one that's on my shirt right now about how you can give throughout the remainder of the day today. Day of Giving is until 8 p.m. this evening, so you still have plenty of time to be able to give and to be able to support our student athletes in the university in a big setting. First and foremost, want to thank all of you for being with us. We know this is, of course, still a busy time of year for so many of you and so for so many of us here at Gannon Athletics, but more than excited to be able to showcase just how important a day like this is for so many of our programs. We're going to be going through many of our athletic programs. We'll get to football in just a moment. They'll be kicking us off. We'll also hear from the Student Athlete Advisory Committee co-presidents, Paco Palacian and Zoe Gachins. We'll also hear from Dr. Sarah Ewing, our provost, and our president, Dr. Walter Iwanenko, throughout the course of this morning. As we go through the live stream, we'll be with two sessions today from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. and then 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. So two opportunities for you to be able to show out and take a look at some of our teams and just hear from some of the student athletes who are part of this incredible Gannon Athletics program and what this means to Gannon Athletics throughout the entirety of our stream. We'll be live on our YouTube, our Facebook, and our X pages throughout the course of the day today. We begin with the football program, who just got done with their spring game just a short while ago. Head coach Eric Rayburn and a few new assistants, along with some returning as well, getting ready for what they expect to be a very successful season. And we're happy to be joined by a couple of returners, and we'll start with the QB, Mr. Ty Hurst, who's joining us as the first guest in our Day of Giving live stream. No days off in football, I assume, man. How was the spring game? Take me through the season, kind of how the off season, if you will, spring part of the year has been so far.
Yeah, I got you. So the spring game, I thought the spring game went pretty well. A lot of new guys, obviously, this year, and also a lot of returners. For me, the spring game, it's important to – it's not necessarily about the outcome, but just getting good reps and getting the new guys acclimated into the offense and making sure those returners are helping out the new guys and in that position of we had a few freshmen, especially at receiver last year,
Mm-hmm.
play, and they were the new guys. Now this year they're the returners, and they're able to help the new guys and getting in those positions of mentally moving forward. For me, the spring's a big mental part.
No question. And again, it's such a huge part of your season because it also gets you in a position to succeed come fall, right? Because when fall happens, you're go. I mean, you're smack dab in the middle of practice from the beginning of August on. You know, last year you came onto the team and started about midway through the season. You really took off, had a career year. We saw your game against your former school in Clarion and how well you were able to play there. Take me through just kind of what this program has meant to you in the time that you've been here now getting ready for your second full season.
This program's actually meant a lot to me. I know a lot of times guys say, this team's a brotherhood, this team, these are my brothers, but really these guys embodied that. Every single day, you could walk into my house at any time, and there's at least 6, 7, 8 guys just all hanging out. And I feel like that's really important to a college football team. The bond and the brotherhood, the ability to just go out and play the game for each other. Like there's no team I've ever really played for, especially in college, that to me has felt closer than what this team is right now.
And we can't wait to get to see what you do on the field of competition, of course, off the field as well. You know, a day like this and Day of Giving, it's so important to so many, whether it's you, the student athlete, the coaches, the staff. You get a chance to experience the actual experience of being on and off the field. What will a day like this mean to this team and the funding that you can get from a day like this help the team move forward into this season?
You know, it's good to just be able to, again, like you said, to be able to give in a world where it seems like everything is about receiving and what can I get? What do I get out of this? It's nice to be able to have that feeling of helping others and helping other people when they're in need.
Yeah, no question about it. Take me through what maybe you're most excited for the season, Ty, before we bring on Sorrell.
The thing I think I'm most excited for about this season is to really see the improvement. I mean, the guys talk about it every day. I mean, everyone knows we were not good last year. We were 1-10. We thought we were better than what we were, and we know we were better than what we were. But to actually see the improvement of where we were at last year to where we're at now, I think it's going to be miles different.
Man, football season's going to be here before you know it. It's always here, but the actual games itself. And by the way, the football schedule just got released on our website. You can check that out at www.gannonsports.com. Ty Hurst, great stuff, man. Can't wait to see you on the field this fall.
Thank you.
All right, let's bring on Sorrell Curtis now as we continue with our football team. This is the start of part 1 of our Gannon Day of Giving live stream. We move from the offense to the defensive side of the football. Another returner, Mr. Sorrell Curtis, who's joining us on the program. You know, it's funny because I feel like we get into the spring, and spring always for football almost seems as busy as fall, right?
No,
because you're not playing the games, but you're still going just as hard in the practice room. Take me through kind of the spring and what this has been like in the last couple of months, getting, you know, acclimated to some new coaches on the staff, some new players, of course, as Ty talked about, and just getting ready for the season as a whole.
I think it's been good. Our schedule has been a little bit demanding. You know, we started our spring ball about a week late, so we had to crunch in everything. But like we said as a group, it don't matter the circumstances. We always going to perform. So whether we had to practice 4 times a week, 5 times a week, we're going to show up every day and put in the work.
You and Ty are a couple of the veterans that will be coming back this year for the team to try to lead some of those newcomers, whether it's transfers or freshmen that will be on the program this year. What are some of the things that maybe you, Ty, and that leadership group talk about in terms of getting them acclimated, getting them ready for the season to make sure they're ready to go when game 1 hits in August?
Our biggest thing as a leadership type of group is we want our young guys to be able to step up. And across the board, like if we make mistakes in the spring, this is the time to make the mistakes. But at the end of the day, we got to make those mistakes at 100% effort. Over time, we could coach being in the right spot at the right time, but we can't coach you putting, you know what I'm saying, 100% effort for it.
Multiple years now at Gannon for you. This program, I'm sure, means a lot to you in the time that you've been here. But, you know, we talk about Day of Giving as a community event, an opportunity for everyone to get involved, whether it's fans, student athletes, coaches, staff. What does the community support mean to you in terms of what you get from the Gannon faithful and how a day like this can kind of exude that tenfold?
Being in Gannon, it's the community is really good. Like Erie's a tight-knit community, so Gannon means a lot to this city. And, you know, football is one of those sports that it brings all cultures together. So everyone's going to come out to the football games regardless of how y'all doing. So having that support, that backing of the community, and them wanting us to do good and put on for the city, it means a lot to me.
Sorrel, I'm not going to lie. When I mentioned August as your first game, it still like scares the heck out of me. Like the fact that we're still starting the year in August is wild. It gets closer and closer and closer to the summer every year. But that just means more work for you to do in a lesser amount of time. But I'm sure you guys are up to the task. Great stuff, Sorrel. I can't wait to see what you guys do this year.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, let's bring on head coach Eric Rayburn. Ty Hurst, Sorrel Curtis. Two individuals who you'll see on the field this year for the football team as they get set for an exciting season ahead. And head coach Eric Rayburn back at the helm for the Golden Knights. And what's, again, it's never a dull moment for football with the way the season goes, Coach. What have you liked about this team so far through the spring, and maybe some of the things that you can hang your hat on getting ready for the fall here?
Yeah, I think our effort and focus has been really good. Obviously, we've had several coaching changes, and so I feel like those guys have done a great job of getting acclimated and bringing our players up to speed. Our defensive players have had to learn a whole new system, and I feel like their attitude's been fantastic. And I think the learning curve is happening pretty quick. So I've been real proud of the effort and the focus and the concentration that we've got out of the guys.
Take me through your new coaching hires. You've made a few of them. They've all been slam dunk home run hires, no doubt. And you know a few of them, obviously, from your former coaching days. Some of the guys that we can expect to see on the sidelines this fall that are really going to help this team forward.
Yeah, I do feel really fortunate with the guys we've been able to hire. Obviously, at offensive line, offensive coordinator, Mike Hallett. He was a teammate of mine in college at Mount Union. Mm-hmm. He spent the last 10 or 11 years at the University of Toledo in the same position. Yep. Yeah, so he's excellent football coach and great guy, really good recruiter. So I think he'll make a huge impact in our program. And then a defensive coordinator, Rich Yonner, again, really feel like he's going to help us. He's recruited Pennsylvania forever and has a ton of experience at a bunch of really good programs as a defensive coordinator. So I feel like no matter what's happening in the game, he, with all the experience that he has, he'll be able to help our guys get in a good position to be successful and keep his composure and poise and put our defensive players in a good position to be successful. And then we were able to bring in Jeff Fitzgerald, who he actually played for Coach Yonner at the University of Virginia, was an excellent player. Most recently been coaching high school football in Richmond, Virginia. Mm-hmm. And we're excited about trying to improve the recruiting there too. When I first got hired here, we had a bunch of good players from Virginia, and but over the years, with coaches changing and stuff, we just haven't had a coach that's had much experience recruiting that area, so it's kind of fallen off. But I'm excited to have that picked back up as well. It's
exciting. It's a great time of year. You just had your spring game, a lot to look forward to this upcoming season. And you mentioned recruiting trips, whether it's trips throughout the year. Football is a sport where funding is such an important part of the game. How does a day like Day of Giving help support your program, and maybe some of the things that individuals' gifts can help towards as we go through the year?
Yeah, I think every program, they have needs, and certainly this year for football, Division II passed the coach-to-player communication for the sideline, which Division I has had. Obviously, the NFL has had. Mm-hmm. Obviously, that comes with an expense, but we feel like if we don't do that, we're going to be at a huge competitive disadvantage. So this particular year, the Day of Giving could really help us purchase that technology, which would kind of give us a competitive advantage.
And more looking forward to the start of the year as you get excited to welcome everybody back into McConnell Family Stadium, which is coming up really quickly. I know it doesn't seem like we're that far off, but it's really coming up fast. What are you most excited about seeing the fans back in the stands when you hit the home turf for the first time in a few weeks into September? Yeah,
obviously, we were disappointed with how our season turned out. And so I think everybody – we want the season to start immediately and kind of get that taste out of our mouth from last year and get back out there and try to turn things around. So I guess I'm excited for the opportunity to start a new season and kind of turn the page on last year, and hopeful for the new season as well.
Yeah, cannot wait. Again, it's still the fact that August is when the games start. Man, it's when are we going to start games in July? Do you have an idea?
I mean, I don't think it's that far off, but it does seem like the summer gets shorter and shorter every year.
Yeah, no doubt indeed. Coach, great to see you. Great to talk to you. Can't wait to see the success that you're going to have this season. And again, consider making a gift to football for Day of Giving, Coach. Can't wait to see you more this year.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Head coach Eric Rayburn in football, the first guest on our program as we continue along through our athletics Day of Giving. I want to give you an opportunity to take a look at how you can donate. Again, that QR code in the top right corner is a way that you can go straight to the Give Campus website to make your gift today as we continue along in our live stream. Let's take a look at some of our athletic programs and where we stand right now. We'll begin at the top, order by order. You can give to athletics' greatest needs. And of course, we'll be talking more about that and just how important that is as we go through the show. Men's basketball, men's wrestling doing very well. Men's wrestling already over their goal. That doesn't mean that you should stop with your gifts to men's wrestling after a great season for both of those teams, as was competitive cheer and dance with a record high finish in the game day competition. They are looking for your support as well with several of their trips that they take each year. Some more of the programs, of course, we just talked with football. They are nearly a fifth of their way to their goal. Still plenty of time left, of course, to donate. More than 9 hours before we end our Day of Giving at 8 p.m. tonight, and some of our other teams as well. That link that is on your screen right now is the same link as the QR code above. So make sure to check that out. And of course, if you have any questions, we'll be able to answer them on your live stream as well. All right, let's go ahead and continue with what we are excited for our Day of Giving live stream. Care, if you don't mind letting women's wrestling in, we'll get to them in just a moment. But again, happy to have you all here. We're here until 1:30 and then back from 5 to 7:30 p.m. here for our Gannon Athletics Day of Giving. Next on the show, in just a couple of minutes, we'll get to women's wrestling. We have men's and women's cross country on the show this morning. Dr. Sarah Ewing, our provost, is on the show as well. Men's basketball, men's soccer, Student Government Association president, women's lacrosse, as well as women's soccer, competitive cheer and dance, all in our morning window. Let's get Carrie McKay on the show for a couple of minutes if we can before we get to women's wrestling, because she's been waiting patiently here. Also, with her QR code T-shirts, if you have any questions, you can scan the QR code on our shirts. There's plenty of ways that you can give. There's really no excuse here. Like, we literally have the QR codes on our shirts. That's kind of the point. What a day so far already. We're already more than halfway through Day of Giving, but it doesn't feel like that because we're now in the home stretch, if you will, with still 9 hours to go. What have we seen? What are we liking so far with Day of Giving?
Well, I was excited to log in and see that athletics in general were already over close to 50,000, like very, very close, teetering on the brink. So I'm hoping in the next 30 minutes, all of our listeners will tune in and give 10, 20, 100, whatever you guys are willing to do, help us get over that hump. I mean, last year, I think our total that we raised all of Day of Giving was around like 75,000. And to be able to look in and see we're close to 50 already, and we still have several more hours, is awesome. So
no question about it. And, we talked last night on the podcast, but I think one of the things we want to hit home as well is every little bit counts.
Yeah.
Whether it's $1, whether it's $5, whatever it might be, every single bit of a gift helps contribute to that larger goal that in turn helps these student athletes so much.
Yeah, for sure. And that's something that I've been really trying to drive home with all of our different student athletes and our coaches. And even if everybody is at a different stage in their life, everybody has a different ability to give. And what we're just asking is to give what you can, even if that's just sharing the link on social media, or if you're a student athlete and you're willing to give a $5 gift. Like, we challenge our student athletes with these very feasible goals that can help them, they're competitors. So I don't know, like, if I was on a team, I'd be like, everybody's giving $1. We're doing it and we're making a gift, and because they get points for that, so I think there's so many different ways to get involved, and there's really no reason not to.
Yeah, no question. Last one before we get to Paco, one of our Student Athletic Advisory Committee co-presidents. There are some initiatives that are happening this morning, early afternoon, that I know you want to get to as well. Take me through some of the things that people can look forward to in terms of potential matches or other things of that nature.
Oh, there's so many different exciting ones going on. I know we already reached our Maroon Challenge, which was awesome. That was like 1,000 donors. We surpassed that quite early. So the person that started that challenge is able to give that large gift, which is super exciting. Now we're on to our Gold Challenge, which is 1,500 donors, and we're almost there. We're like 3,000 or sorry, 300 or some donors away from that.
Yeah, we're close.
Close. And then we have a lot of different matches. We have, there's a Friends of Men's Soccer match that Mr. and Mrs. Lund, friends of the program, put up $5,000 for that match. So that's a 1-for-1 match. We have several baseball matches, which is awesome. Like there's like, I think 3 different baseball matches that you can contribute to. We have a volleyball match, which actually was already met. So that's awesome. Which ones am I missing?
We have a Board of Trustees challenge now that's going on. We're almost there. We're 80% to the goal. I think it's 2,500 of 10 donors, just 10 more donors in the next 10 hours.
Oh yeah. And this just in, we just need $40 more for the Bases Loaded challenge to reach that match. So if anybody's watching, thanks to Nancy Eisman Elwell, she put up that match. So get on and donate.
We're going to have more matches because all these are going to be gone by the time we get to the afternoon. So can't wait, Carrie. We'll have you more on the show as we get to the afternoon, but roll along strong with Day of Giving.
All right, let's go.
All right, let's bring on Paco, one of our Student Athletic Advisory Committee co-presidents, before we get to women's wrestling on our Day of Giving live stream. Fast and furious with the guests today. We want to make sure you hear from as many people as you possibly can, and not many better than Paco to talk about Day of Giving and just the year in general, because this man has had a very, very busy year, although he probably wouldn't have it any other way. Paco, it's good to see you wearing many hats today, whether it be from SAC, of course, a student athlete yourself. Just take me through this Gannon experience. What it's meant to you and what your expectation were coming in and what you've gotten out of this university.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really know what to think coming in. I'm originally from Seattle, Washington. Didn't know anybody out here. So coming out here, playing water polo, there was kind of like an instant connection, an instant family. And that was like really supportive in the beginning. And that kind of allowed me to kind of build a foundation and then build off of that and try to get involved. And I think Gannon is an incredibly underrated institution, not only obviously in our athletics now that we're, winning everything, but also like academically and everything else that the university provides us as students. I think they really get a lot of connections in the industries that we're trying to work in. They're just doing so many things that help us as students, as especially launching into our careers, that I can't thank Gannon enough.
You make a great point about opportunities. There are so many times where I see people like you, other students who are going out to professional venues, whether it's in sports or another industry, where you get those opportunities to learn and grow as part of being a student athlete. And we know, again, Day of Giving really helps with that. You've been involved with a lot of philanthropic work and things of that nature with SAC and your position there. Take me through, from a student athlete perspective, what Day of Giving means and how important it is, not just from the athletic perspective, but the student perspective as well.
Yeah, I mean, Day of Giving, I think it's really important because, nobody wants to talk about money, but you need money to do these things that we want to do. It's certainly helped support our team as we transitioned into a conference where half of our conference is in California, and we need to go out there for our conference championship every other year.
Right.
That's not cheap. If you look at our miles traveled, it's probably on the higher end.
You're on the road a lot.
That requires fundraising, that requires support. Fortunately we've had it. And so that makes something like this very important. And I think it's also important for the school as a whole. The school just finished off its big fundraising campaign of the last decade. And, that included the Highmark and everything else. But the master plan still continues, and opportunities like this allow us to continue to build on those things to make the student experience even better, and to give Gannon a bigger pin on the map.
Paco, lastly for you, you've had an incredible experience here. As we said, you've put your hat in the ring for many things. What will be the memories that you have of this place when you go on to greener pastures in your professional career?
Oof, that's a big question. I'd say, the first things that come to mind are, the centennial celebration we had over the year. You know, that was an incredible experience for me, especially in some of the little ways I was able to get involved, particularly with the Centennial Mass when we had the nuncio come. I know he's been in the news lately, so that was really fun to be able to see that, to be able to see that much enthusiasm around Gannon, and that kind of thing. And then, like, I guess more on a personal end, like, you know, I've been on a couple Super Bowls with Gannon. I've been on some drafts, and honestly, that New Orleans Super Bowl is something I probably will never forget. So I even had a teammate on that Super Bowl with me. So that was an incredible experience, and you know, it requires, you know, celebrate Gannon and Day of Giving to be able to do those things. So I'm more than grateful.
Yeah, talk about the pinnacle of sports, the industry, not much better experience than that. And it's a pretty neat thing. And for you, I know you've had a great opportunity to do so many of those things, Paco, and it's not without the support of all of you in the community with Day of Giving. Appreciate it, man. Enjoy the last couple of weeks of the semester, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you very much.
All right, that is Paco Palanthian, the SAC co-president with Zoe Gaetjens. We'll hear from Zoe a little bit later on this afternoon for our Day of Giving live stream. Again, the QR code in the top right corner of your screen is how you can give, how you can donate, and there's, of course, so many more ways as well. Let's talk to women's wrestling. We'll bring on Lena Rumpler first, who's joining us on the program here today. Women's wrestling just finishing up their season. It feels like months ago, but it really wasn't. It was only like a few weeks back. I think the entire month of March, Lena, has just kind of like, I don't know. You can put that microphone down. Yep, I'll help you out right there. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's a little weird. I feel like the whole month of March is run together. Like, have you gotten a chance to process the season and actually look back and reflect, or has it just been like, all right, gotta get it ready for next year?
Oh, I mean, as soon as the season was over, it was immediately go back, see what I did great, see how I improved and how I did that, and seeing what I need to work on and how I can take what I learned this past season and implement that into the next season to get better.
Take me through your experience so far at Gannon in your first year and what it meant to you and kind of the program. And I'm sure in a lot of ways really cool to get to see it continue to blossom in the way that it has.
It truly was amazing getting to go a step up to the D2 level and working with an accredited program and an accredited coach and team and teammates. It was really something I had not expected for my future, and getting to work with them and learn from them and having them help me get better for the season to show my improvements really was a true blessing for me to experience.
One of the awesome things about this year as a whole, in addition to the incredible accomplishments that your team had, was the first year of an NCAA sport for women's wrestling. And I think that was really the storyline of the year for the team, and being able to be that pioneer team. What did it mean to you to get to be a part of that and experience that history-making moment yourself?
It was just kind of a full circle moment. I've been immersed in the wrestling world my whole life, even though I haven't wrestled my whole life. My brother, he wrestled since he was way little, and I had to go to every single tournament because I was only so young, and
he still owes you.
Oh my gosh, yeah, he's been a great influence on me. He's been a great supporter, but I always wanted to wrestle. I never had the opportunity until my 8th grade year of school. My high school coach came up to me and asked if I wanted to try wrestling because he saw me at those tournaments, and I said yeah, and I've just stuck with it ever since. And then being a part of the sanctioning of PIAA girls wrestling, and then being a part of the NCAA sanctioning of women's wrestling, it's just everything's coming together, being recognized at so many different levels. It's amazing. It
is awesome. And to be a part of this program, we talked so much about how important Day of Giving is, but take me through the community support, lastly, Lena, and what it's meant to you, and maybe how it's different, if you will, at Gannon than other schools maybe that you've witnessed.
Yeah, so this is my first day of celebration at Gannon because I came in last year, and seeing so many people express their support for not just women's wrestling but the school as a whole, it really shows that there's a great alumni and great support backing up what has been built, and knowing that this is going to stick around for a long time, and knowing there's people you can rely on and networking with other people. It's great, not just in the current time but evolving, and then you can when you have that status yourself, you can give back to what was given to you as well.
Cannot wait for the season to get started. It's going to be here before you know it, Lena, and I know you're going to be a big part of it as well. Great to talk to you, and I appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's talk to Lily Ufalvi from women's wrestling, who has done literally just about everything with this program. She's been such a big cornerstone piece, and now joining us, I wanted to say on the United podcast, that was last night. This is our Day of Giving live stream. I'm getting my live streams mixed up. Great to see you. Are you staying busy, I assume?
Yeah, I am. I'm staying busy. It's good to be back. I mean, I was here last year too, and I've been on a couple of podcasts with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's always an honor, so thank you for inviting me and Lena. I'm just happy to be here. I mean, 2 more weeks of school, and then I become officially a Gannon alumni, so it's kind of like a little heartbreaking, but at the same time, it's such an amazing feeling and good to know that I can be part of something.
Put into perspective what the time at Gannon has meant for you. And one of the coolest moments of the year was seeing you, win your last match on senior night at home. And then, of course, getting your 100th win at the regional. Put into perspective this program and kind of what it's meant to you in your time here.
I remember the very first day that I arrived to the States, and it was just a surreal feeling, and getting through the first couple of months, being part of the team and getting through the first tournaments, it was something special. I knew that it's going to be something special, but I didn't realize how special it's going to be.
Yeah.
And I'm just so privileged and so blessed to be able to be here for 4 years now, and getting that win on senior night, even though it was probably like 10 seconds or something. So that was pretty
It didn't
quick.
take long. It was about 12,
didn't take
12 13
long,
seconds.
but it was definitely very emotional for me. I immediately started crying after I pinned the girl, and getting the 100 wins. It was not something that I had in mind as a goal. I think it might have been you or Taylor who mentioned it in a weekly athletics preview that I'm at 91 wins, and it was like already the record for the program. I was like, oh, I didn't even know.
Right.
So it was very interesting. And then my little brother back home, he was like, you need to get the 100 wins. I was like,
come on, you're already right there. Like,
okay, I'll try my best. So that was absolutely something, a goal in mind.
Yeah.
But, and getting it after day 1 at regionals, and my teammate came up to me and coach came up to me with my little flag, not flag,
cool
what is
poster.
it called? Poster, that's
yeah.
right. With 100 wins, I that was not something that I thought I'm going to be able to achieve, but it's an honor to be the very first one on the program to do that.
And I know for you, as you continue to go through your career, this will always be a special place in your heart. And I know, one of the things that we all believe here is you leave the place better than you found it. And I know that you want the program to succeed post your graduation. And when you look at a day like today, how important is it to be able to leverage a day like today to leave the program in a spot that's as good, if not better, than when you came to Gannon?
I remember last year we were able to raise a lot of money just for women's wrestling. So that was definitely a capstone moment for me, because we were able to afford new equipment for ourselves. So that allowed us to get even better and get ready for the first inaugural NCAA championships. And thankfully, Bella, she became an All-American, and she's right now competing at the US Open on senior level. So hopefully she's going to do amazing.
Yeah.
But Day of Giving is something kind of like a message back that, yes, we are doing something good. And I called a couple of alumni yesterday from the women's wrestling team, and it was good to hear their voices and knowing that they still support us, they still follow us. So that is something that I do plan on doing in the future. I want to give back to this program as much as I can, whether it's helping out with practices. I'm going to stick around for practices, so Lena, you're not getting rid of me. But whether it's donating some money, I know money can be a touchy subject, but even $5 can make a difference, because with $5 we can get some snacks for the road. But right now, I know that we are raising money to get new warm-ups so we can have the new logo, and for multiple day tournaments we can have more warm-ups. So that would be amazing. But Day of Giving is just something that really shows us that this community does care about us, and we care about the community. and we just want to say thank you for that.
Lena was like, dang, I thought I had an easy road ahead next year.
No,
Practices
she's
were going to
not
be a
getting rid of
breeze.
me, unfortunately.
No, just kidding. It's great to have you, Lily. It's great that you're going to be around next year. You've been a wonderful ambassador, not just for this program, but for Gannon Athletics. And we appreciate you coming on the show. It's always great having you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, women's wrestling could, of course, as every team can, use your gift and your support as we continue along in our Day of Giving Athletics live stream. We've got so many more guests to get to, so let's go ahead and get to them right now. We have men's cross country joining us on the show. We'll start with Ethan Boots, since he's been standing there patiently at the door. Men's cross country, of course, completing a great season as they have been the last few years as well. Ethan was a big part of the team this past season as well in a fall year that, again, I just feel like it feels like it's 3 years ago, Ethan, but it really didn't end that long ago. And now here we are. We're getting ready for the fall season upcoming for you. One of the things I love about cross country is you are literally everywhere. We see you all out in the community running, doing all your training work. How has the spring so far been getting back into the competition swing and getting prepared for the fall?
I think it's been pretty well. We've been doing our off-season training and competing at track meets. So it seems like everything's been going smoothly. Everyone's been getting involved, getting ready to keep going with their training. And we've been having some nice distance races during the track season to prepare us for the upcoming season as well.
It is so cool to get to see the bond that this team has, whether it's the men's team, the women's team. You all seem like you're very close, right? In particular, because you have to be, because you literally run everywhere and they're mother to each other. But take me through kind of the importance of this team to you and your time on campus, and what this program means to you just as kind of a wholesale note.
I mean, this team is my people on campus. We all do everything together. We eat our meals together. We have practice together. All of my roommates are on the team. It's just like we're more than a family. Like we're just that close with each other.
You know, we talk about family. A lot of programs talk about how, they feel like family, but it really is the case here. Take me back to when you first stepped on campus for the first time and what your expectations were then compared to kind of how they've been, I imagine, blown out of the water now.
Yeah, we came in and I was just hoping to continue running cross country, just continue doing the sport that I love. And I was hoping to accomplish some big things as a team. And we weren't sure exactly how it was going to go because we were sort of in a bit of a rebuild phase, but we've been accomplishing a lot more than I think we were prepared for. And even though we didn't hit everything we wanted to hit this season, I think it was a huge step forward. And this coming season, especially with our incoming freshmen and the guys we still have on the team, I think we can really do something special.
Yeah, I talk about locked and loaded. This team is certainly on the meteoric rise and getting ready to be at the top. I think in the next couple of months, just forget years. We're already almost near that point. Day of Giving, such an important day for so many of our teams, yours as well. Take me through kind of how that funding can help this team continue to grow as you've been talking about the last few seasons.
Absolutely. The funding, one of the main things that we like to think about with our funding is our team training trip at the beginning of the year. And that's just good because we tend to go out somewhere train like we did Ohio Pal the past years. We did Cuyahoga Falls. It's just a nice little weekend to get the team closer together and to get some extra training in without the worries of the classwork on top of everything, so we can really get a quality week of training in. And that's something that obviously doesn't pay for itself. So all the fundraisers that we get off of that, all the money that brings in, that allows us to do those things to have a closer team and be more fit for the upcoming season.
No doubt. And I don't kid when I say the bond of this team is really strong, because right now men's cross country is dominating the viewership. Your teammate Charlie is excited that you're on the show. Ethan Boots, let's go. It's great to have you on, Ethan. You can't wait to see what this team does this year, and best of luck moving forward throughout the season.
Thank you so much.
All right, Brady Rush going to join us on the show in just a minute as well, as we continue with our Day of Giving live stream. Men's cross country ready for another exciting season ahead, folks. And I'll tell you what, the fall seems like it's a while away. It really isn't. We're only a few months away from the beginning of the year, and the cross-country season flies. You start the year, I feel like, in August, and then by the time we get a month and a half down the road, you're already talking about the postseason, Brady. And now here you go in another year for you, and what you would consider yourself, I think, probably a seasoned veteran on this team with some of the youngsters that are going to be coming in. Take me through kind of the last year and what's the importance of this team to you here at Gannon.
It's very important. Like Ethan said, we're like a family. Yeah, we're like a family, and I feel like this next coming years we're gonna build even more, because we're losing some very important guys on our team. But when it comes to quantity, we're losing only 2 guys, 3 guys, and we're bringing in more than that. So I think we're gaining when it comes to that, and like Ethan said, we were more in a rebuild phase, and we brought in 7 guys for the sophomore class and 5 guys for the freshman class. So we got more experience under our belt, and I feel like that's really going to help us for next year.
So, recently you were, let's just call it the young fish in the pond, right? You were the one who took the advice from the upperclassmen. You had a great group that helped lead you, figured out how to be successful. And now you're one of the ones that are going to be teaching the younger class, right? You go from the student to the mentor. What will be some of the things that you tell your teammates as they get ready to go into the season, the ones who have not been a part of this before, in terms of encouraging them and getting them ready for the year?
I feel like the biggest thing is, like, you made it this far, you belong. I feel like the college level can be very intimidating, and we're doing the same exact thing. We're just running. So as long as you work hard, that's my advice I'd give them.
Cross country is a sport where you don't necessarily have a ton of home meets, but last year we saw when you did your race in the park at Pleasant Ridge and Fairview, a great crowd out there for that. There's always that support, whether it's at home or on the road. I know a lot of your fans travel as well to a lot of your competitions. What does that community support mean to you when you're out there going through the course? And in a lot of cases can sometimes seem like a lonely moment for you because you're out there running by yourself. What does that community support mean to you?
It's definitely big. I mean, when you're a mile 3:05 and you're dying, and you see like everyone's parents around, that just gives you the extra spark to keep going. And even like our teammates that are around us, I mean, when they're next to us and you could see them working hard too, and they're dying as well, that we could just keep working together and just keep pushing. And I feel like when we have those parents and that support, it just makes us that much greater.
Man, you're struggling at mile 3. I'd be struggling mile half. We're not even getting to full miles yet. I had to run a couple miles yesterday, not on my own volition. It was rough. I'm feeling my legs today. Take me through, Ethan mentioned the training trips, just some of the things that the funding can help with, but how important will that support be in terms of, the monetary support from the community going into next year?
Yeah, I mean, Ethan mentioned the team. I'll also say the team trip, it helps us with our training very much. But I feel like my freshman year, when we had that team trip, it helped us just grow like together as not only just running, just as a team. And it made that bond that much tighter in that week span. It also helps with like apparel, like this thing that I'm wearing right now. We got it from our fundraising, so I appreciate all the fundraising that's going on.
No question. We're ready for the year. We're ready for the fall. We'll enjoy the summer. You'll keep running. We'll see you around the community, and then can't wait to see you back in the fall, Brady, when you guys get going again.
Thank you.
All right, men's cross country finishing up their time here on the program. We're excited in just a minute to welcome in our provost, Dr. Sarah Ewing. Before then, though, let's hear again from our athletic director, Megan Morphy, of course, a former head coach herself, on the importance of Day of Giving from her perspective.
All of our coaching staff here at Gannon are deeply committed to providing transformational experience to our student athletes. As a former head coach myself, I know how impactful those special experiences can be in helping our student athletes not only achieve athletically and academically, but create memories that will last a lifetime. Please consider making a gift today to help support Gannon Athletics, and you can too be part of those memories for our student athletes.
All right, again, our thanks to our athletic director, Megan Morphy, for sharing some words of how Day of Giving has helped impact her, both as a coach, as an administrator. As we continue along in our Day of Giving live stream, Dr. Sarah Ewing, our provost, set to come on in just a little bit. Men's basketball, men's soccer will be joining us a little bit later this morning as well. We'll hear from the president of the Student Government Association, Matthew Nicolo, as well as women's cross country, women's lacrosse, women's soccer, competitive cheer and dance. And to cap off our morning hour, it is President Dr. Walter Iwanenko who's going to join us from about 1 to 1:30 p.m. Hey, while we have a second, let's go ahead and take a look at the leaderboard as we see it right now. I guess it's not technically a leaderboard. It's just a showing of where we're at in terms of our team success with Day of Giving. Carrie did a great job of mentioning some of the donor matches and gifts that are being given in addition to some of the gifts that you can have. And we're really close to our goal with so many of them right now. The Maroon Challenge already smashed. The Gold Challenge, we're more than 3/4 of the way there. So let's go ahead and show you exactly what I'm talking about as I share my screen and show you exactly what we have going on here with Day of Giving so far. Some of our challenges happening right now. The Gold Challenge, we're 75% of the way there. It'll be a $50,000 match. If we get 360 more donors needed to reach the challenge goal. We're almost there, folks. push across the finish line. We got a few more hours, well, more than a few hours. We've got until 8 p.m. tonight to get there. We would love your support. Another goal challenge as well. If we get another 1,500 donors, another 25,000 that will be heading towards athletics. So make sure to take advantage of that opportunity as well. A couple more opportunities as well for some of our individual teams. Baseball with a lot of individual donation matches as well. The Grand Slam Challenge need another $2,500 to get that. Joe Gata is offering that up. Thanks to Joe for that as well. We also have some other matches as well. The Friends of Gannon men's soccer match. Mr. and Mrs. Lund are taking part in that if we reach our goal there. We also have a Power Hour challenge as well. 24 donors. If we can get to that, we'll get another 5,000. It's offered by Val. So thanks again to Val. Here's where we are sitting right now from the university-wide perspective. Right now, we're looking for 1,500 donors. We're getting there, just over 1,150 donors so far from a university perspective, and nearly $200,000 donated. Cannot thank you enough for your gift and what it means to us here as a program to be able to have part of that be part of the athletics as well. So thank you again to everyone. We can't wait to see that total just continue as we go through the afternoon. You can give to every one of our athletics programs, including Athletics Greatest Needs, as we continue along here on our show. Men's wrestling doing very well, as we talked about. Men's basketball, which will be on our show in just a few minutes. They're going to be joining us, and they're nearly 40% of the way through their goal. Women's wrestling is over a quarter of the way there. You've got plenty of time to give to women's wrestling as they continue their pursuit of championship excellence. Bella Phillips will be back next year. She's going to be right in the hot seat for another national championship run. Lena Rumpler, I guarantee you, is going to be in that mix as well. It'd be great to have Lily back for another year. If we could, we totally would, but Lily will still be around the program. How about women's basketball? 35% of the way towards their goals, almost $1,800 donated for women's basketball. And men's cross country, I think, got an even better boost as they were just on the show a moment ago, nearly 3/4 of the way to their goal. Men's cross country, $3,700 raised. Let's go. All fans of that. Looking forward to see how that number continues to creep up. Some of our spring sports, softball, baseball, men's golf are marching towards their goal as we speak. Baseball's got a couple of huge games today. So if you're looking for something to do during the break from 1:30 to 5 when we're not streaming, come out to McConnell Family Stadium. They got a huge doubleheader against Seton Hill today that starts at 1 p.m. If the Golden Knights can win one or both of those games, they're in a great position to clinch a spot in the PSAC tournament, and in the same process, really put a mark on what they've been doing in the last 3 weeks, which is just winning ball games, and that's what they continue to do. How about volleyball? Man, they just keep on keeping on, right? Matt Darling's squad more than almost 200% over their goal, but they're looking to continue that momentum as well. Swimming, they're looking to take their first ever training trip this upcoming off season. Make sure to donate to men's and women's swimming. And also, I just want to read you a message that I got from assistant coach Bill Bradley a moment ago, because if you watched in our social media with swimming, if certain matches were made, the head coach and some of the student athletes were going to be swimming in jeans. I'm being told now that Milan, that goal has been reached. So one of the donor matches goal was reached. So Milan is going to race 100 butterfly while wearing jeans. It's going to be at the pool at 3 o'clock. So you can go watch baseball, then you can go to the pool and watch Milan race in jeans at 3 o'clock. I can't wait. I'm going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. So again, so many of our teams are doing exciting fun games, if you will, if certain matches are made. So swimming is certainly one of those as well. Women's golf, women's cross country going strong, as is women's water polo. Women's soccer is a quarter of the way to their goal. Women's lacrosse looking to continue the momentum. We'll see them on the show in about an hour or so. Men's water polo will be joining the show a little bit later, as will men's soccer, who is about 30% of the way to their goal. So there you have it. There's the leaderboard as we sit right now. Looking forward to what should be an exciting afternoon of momentum on Day of Giving. And with that, we're very happy to welcome in our provost, Dr. Sarah Ewing, who has been very busy herself today, because it's not only Day of Giving for Gannon, it's also a Celebrate Gannon as well, in what has been kind of the norm now for the last few years, and combining these 2 days together, Dr. Ewing, and I think appropriate that Celebrate Gannon is also in the midst of this Day of Giving season.
Oh, absolutely. We love our Celebrate Gannon event, and we get the opportunity to see all of our students doing amazing things. And we also invite our alumni, donors friends of the university to engage with us and help us celebrate Gannon and what makes it such a special place.
It is amazing to think of the centennial year last year, and you think to yourself, how can you top that after the celebrations that we had, 100 years of Gannon? And this year, I feel like we've gone above that and more. So many great projects that are being worked on around the university, and just the excitement of what's to come in terms of growing the university. I think the big moniker, of course, though, is the addition of the Ohio sector and the merger with Ursuline College. Take me through kind of how that process has been, and just the excitement of being able to now call Ursuline College part of our home.
Sure. I think that there really has been. I want to just comment quickly about your statement about how this year really has been so impactful, and there's been so much energy that, yeah, how do we top the centennial year? And here we are doing it, because that's what Gannon does.
Right.
So our work with Ursuline College really began in 2024, and it's incredible to realize how much has been accomplished in really less than 2 years. And we are drawing really, really close to our actual merger date. June 30th, 2026 is what we anticipate. And as we achieve each of the milestones we needed to achieve, it's really been based on the support and work of so many individuals across both our Erie campus, Ruskin, Florida campus, and the team at Ursuline. And so really grateful and thankful for that. The bringing together faculty, bringing together the students, bringing together the staff has been really eye-opening, and we found great ways to collaborate and participate and support our students in meaningful ways. And so really excited, can't wait to officially get across that major milestone and really say we're officially merged, and looking forward to all we can accomplish together.
Yeah, there's so much excitement about what's ahead, so much work, to your point, that's already been done with that merger, and we still have a lot more to get to, which will be exciting. Talking about Day of Giving here, last year, of course, we set a huge goal as a university initiative, and we did such a great job, I think, of the community just supporting so many of the initiatives, athletics, academics, and more, that is important for the university to continue to thrive. Day of Giving so far this year, what you're excited about, Dr. Ewing, and kind of what you've seen so far from our community support in the first 12 hours of this thing.
Yeah, the first 12 hours, wow, amazing. Our community just continues to come out in support of all of the things that Gannon is doing. And I could not be more grateful and proud of who we are and what you see and want to give back and contribute to the student experience and all of the different projects that Gannon's working on. Some of the great things I saw in the first 12 hours, we had over 1,000 donors already. Right? Isn't that amazing? And so we have already unlocked some of the challenges that were put in place. And thank you to those individuals who challenged our community to come out and support us through Day of Giving and all of the things we want to celebrate Gannon about. So that was amazing. We have always a stretch goal, always trying to exceed what we've done in the past. And I have no doubt that we can do that. I am excited. There are so many ways to give. Whatever you're passionate about, you can contribute just to, Gannon's greatest needs. You can contribute to scholarships, athletics, of course, academic programming, specific initiatives like Project Neptune is really important to me, and our Center for Lake Erie Education and Research. So just whatever you're passionate about, there's a way for you to contribute. And it doesn't take a lot. No gift is too small to support Day of Giving. We encourage everyone to come out and help support us.
I think this is an appropriate thing to talk about with Celebrate Gannon being here as well. I was sitting in a training session for Gannon 101 with some of our students that will be helping to teach the course next year. And one of the things that they told me to a person was the energy and exuberance from some of our students this year, new and old, as a whole, is more than what they've really ever seen. You, of course, are so into tune with the student experience and how important that is. Take me through kind of what you've seen from that light in terms of students seemingly being more engaged than ever on campus, and how a day like this can help support it.
Yeah, I think I've seen really students come back. They're looking for connection. They want to build relationships, and it's still challenging. I mean, the reality is we're not that far away from COVID years. And so it's still taking those students a little bit of time to get out of their comfort zone. And I think Gannon does a really great job creating spaces that allow students to push themselves and build those relationships. So I've seen them come out for more events. I just attended the Mr. and Miss GU philanthropy pageant that supported the Alpha Gamma Delta sorority foundation, and they did an amazing job with that. Our students came out and showcased their talents. We crowned Mr. and Miss GU, and they raised more money than they had ever raised for their foundation that helps fight hunger. So that was amazing, and to see all the students who came out in support of that event, and you see that across the board and throughout campus all year long. And so I'm really proud of our students, what they do to lead those efforts and create new spaces and new ways for students to find connections and get involved.
And we see it too from the athletic side. Students were out more in numbers than we've ever seen before at athletic events. People helping people wanting other people to succeed. It's really neat to get to see, and that the momentum is continuing even past the 100th year. When we're in our second centennial now, as we get ready for the next 100 years, we're already off to an amazing start. No question about it. But before I let you go, Dr. Ewing, this of course is a one-day opportunity for you to be able to make your gift known, but it's going to support so many future projects. What are some of the things maybe we can look forward to as we get ready for the summer and next year? I know we mentioned Ursuline, but some other exciting projects that maybe are on the horizon as we get ready for the 26-27 year.
Sure. I think always student experience events are on my mind. The First Ascent project in the Institute for Health and Cyber Knowledge is a really great opportunity where we're adding this really cutting edge cancer research and treatment company that our students will have access to and be able to interact and learn from. We're adding new academic programs, so to be announced when they're ready to go, but really looking at workforce development. What are the needs of our community and how do we support those needs? And so look for those to come in the year ahead of us, and then all of the things that can be created through our partnership with Ursuline are going to be a major focus next year.
Man, so much to get to, so much work to be done, but in a good way, because it means the university is striving and thriving as it always does. Dr. Ewing, I appreciate you taking a few minutes. I know we got a busy day today, but in a good way. And thank you again, I'm sure, from the university perspective on the Day of Giving generosity already.
Absolutely. Again, thank everybody who's come out to support us already. And if you're around, we welcome you to join us for the Celebrate Gannon event in the Highmark Event Center that's going to kick off here soon, getting close to 1 p.m. And so there's great ways to see all of the work that our students have done throughout the past year.
No doubt. We'll see you there. You'll see Dr. Ewing there. Thanks again, Dr. Ewing, for taking a few minutes.
Thank you, Isaac.
All right, let's continue along with our Day of Giving live stream. We just want to take a moment to thank you for your support both today and every day here on campus. It has been a wonderful day so far. Just over halfway through our Day of Giving here. We go until 8 p.m. tonight in what is going to be another momentous year. We talked about the centennial and how important it has been last year and this year, just as good of a year, if not better, as we continue to fight towards our goal. All right, nearly noon here on the East Coast. We've got about an hour and a half or so left here in our Day of Giving. Let's go ahead and bring on the man with the national championship trophy in his office, head coach Easton Bozzoli of the Golden Knight men's basketball team, who is busier now than he was when the national championship run was happening, getting the roster together. How have things been in terms of just preparing for the next year ahead?
I mean, great. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get much better than the situation that we're in right now. We're right back to work. We're right back to work, about 48 hours after winning the national championship. So, all good things. And now we're just trying to build and build on some momentum to, keep this thing where it belongs.
I know you and I talked, and I've talked even behind the scenes about the reflection part of it, and that it will come, right? You will eventually get a chance to reflect on everything as well.
Yeah.
But if we take a few minutes here and just think back to the last few weeks and what this has meant to you, the community is just as excited, if not maybe even more excited than some of the team personnel about winning this, because this has been their lifelong dream, their lifelong goal of watching the Gannon Golden Knights win a national championship. How neat was it to get to see that community celebrate with you and be a part of that national championship with you guys?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody was more excited than us, but I think a lot were just as excited as
close,
us.
yeah.
And we're sitting there, you get to walk around and you get to have a clear picture of why, of how
big of a deal this is, not just to us and not just to the school, but to the community. And again, you look at our welcome back and arriving on the bus and the amount of people, the hundreds of people that show up to that. Yeah, I mean, I think that, it's one of the things that we really try and tell people when they're making decisions to come to Gannon and play basketball here, that's a real thing. But that was like the clearest picture to a lot of our guys. They come back and go, oh yeah, like that wasn't a lie. Like this thing really is a big deal, and not, like you said, not just to Gannon, but to the entire city.
Yeah, as so many, I mean, the video speaks for itself. The photos speak for themselves. I'm sure many of those of you who are watching right now were a part of the celebration, whether you were in Indy, at the welcome back, you went to probably a game or two at some point during the season. A memorable year, no doubt, one that's going to be historic for decades to come. Day of Giving is a day so important for this team, and in particular from this past year, because when you keep winning national championships, you have to incur some expenses, right? Because you're going on trips, and the pomp and circumstance, winning pays, winning also costs. Day of Giving for you guys this year, and how it's going to help the funding help propel your team forward into the next season.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. You hit the nail on the head. Like, winning does cost money. It's just the reality of it. So first, we are extremely fortunate and grateful for all the people that helped us get to where we were this past year. Some really, really important people and to the masses for sure. But just really grateful for, the Cal Grahams of the world, the Gary Millers of the world that have really helped out, Phil McCormick and things like that. And, my hope is that we can continue to build on this thing and get more people involved, because I really view Gannon men's basketball like this is our program. This is our city's program. This is, everybody that's involved, everybody that gives anything. It's amazing how much it goes directly into our guys succeeding on the floor. And so yes, every little thing matters, and we're just grateful for everybody that does give throughout the year, and definitely on a day like today as well.
Any successful coach, any successful student athlete in this day and age, when you play the sport that you play and you coach the sport that you coach, are going to have been, in all likelihood, at previous institutions, right? You, of course, are one of those who, you work your way through different places and you get to where you are. What about Gannon makes it different than anywhere you've been before? I know you've been pretty candid to me about how much this community means to you. Just take me through this area, this program, and what makes it stand out from amongst the rest.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of the things we already talked about, just the level of care, the amount of people that showed up to Indianapolis on Easter Sunday at 1 p.m. I mean, you should just look at that crowd right there, right behind that little video. It's incredible the amount of people that were there. We've got some really cool pictures and videos of a packed out crowd. And what I think is, I've watched every Division II national championship game here for several years, and I've attended a couple, and that was by far the best atmosphere at any one of these games.
It wasn't even close.
It's unbelievable. So, you see things like that, and again, like everything matters. The showing up matters. The financial giving matters. The texts and the emails and the phone calls, like they all mean so much. I think I might actually have caught up yesterday. I might have gotten back to everybody. I'm sure I might be missing somebody, but
until you get off this podcast and have a 15 more in your back
pocket. It's overwhelming and in all the good ways.
Yeah, no question. And again, the historic nature of this is going to be told for years to come, but I know for you, the goal is to be able to replicate this again. And, that's the hope as you go into the next season. And just take us through maybe what fans can be excited for next year. I know your roster is not set yet, and it may not be for a little bit, but still a lot of great pieces to look forward to for next year.
Yeah, I think if we've been able to prove anything in our time here, in just a short time that we've been, is that, one, we know how to bring in the right people and the right character of people, the right talent of people, obviously. But, even more than that, I think you can look at this and see we know how to develop too. And we've got guys that
are being developed as we speak and ready to step into big roles. I mean, you look at, I saw a stat the other day as I'm kind of reviewing over the last 3 years, and we're trying to put together some things to point to in recruiting and development. And in our 3 years here, we've had 9 guys be all conference, 9 all conference selections, 8 different guys, 4 that were in their first year and 4 that were in their second. So you've got guys that it's clear, like when you look at Ernest Shelton and look at the jump that he made from his freshman to sophomore year, you look at even Pace Prosser, like second team all conference to now NCAA.com's National Player of the Year. Right. We've got a ton of excitement with some of our other guys that are involved in this thing, and obviously we're gonna sign great players, is just like we always do, but we're gonna make sure it's great people again.
Yeah, it's always great people. That's a big part of the program and a big part of the reason why you're as successful as you are. All right, man, back to the recruiting trail. Enjoy it. Make sure to make some time to be able to reflect on this, and we'll talk to you as the summer goes on.
Appreciate it. Thanks, brother.
Men's basketball national champs Easton Bozzoli joining us here on Day of Giving. Such an important day for them as they continue their success, not just from this past year, but into next year as well. And again, congratulations on the national champ winning Golden Knights. Nearly noon here as we get ready for Day of Giving's midway point today. At least it started at 8 o'clock last night. I'm going to have Rafa join us here from men's soccer first. Billy, you can go second as we continue our Day of Giving live stream. So many teams that did so many amazing things, and men's soccer was right in the thick of one of those teams, making the Elite Eight, winning their first ever PSAC championship. And this man here, Rafa High, was a big part of the reason why you'll see him again in a Golden Knight uniform this upcoming season. Rafa, I'm joking with some fall teams that I feel like the fall is like 5 years ago. I feel like it's just a time warped past since then. Have you gotten a chance to just reflect on the year and go through what it was like to be a part of that team that made so many historic milestone achievements this last year?
No, yeah, I'm very proud of this team because since it was the first time that we ever won the PSAC, I think it was something that like everyone really wanted. And being part of this roster that was able to win the first PSAC title here, I believe that's such like a thing that we need to be proud of. And then like with the help of all the donators, I believe that like this help us really, it really help us about like to improve our program and show us that like we can correspond with their donations and all that.
Yeah, one of the things that, and we said this with men's basketball just a moment ago, is that it's pretty evident how you can see your gifts being used towards certain sports when sports are as successful as you are. I think what people might forget about is that your Elite Eight run had you go to Boston 3 straight weeks. I mean, you went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The miles that you put on that bus are quite ridiculous. And for your team, Day of Giving, such an important day for you because it helps towards those things and other things as well, I imagine, Rafa.
Yeah, we all know that like it's not only about soccer. There's all like a background behind of like people working logistics, scheduling trips, hiring bus and all that. And then like it's very important about like all the supporters that support us, the donators. As you said, like we traveled 3 times in 3 weekends.
I mean, you may never do that again. I don't know. That was a little anomaly, but still, you're going to be going far no matter what.
Even though it was a very good year for us, like being able to go to Elite Eight, win PSAC title, make like historical games. I believe that like all of this work that people do for us outside the field, it's very important for us that like to go towards our goals.
Rafa, you've been such a stalwart part of this team for the last few seasons, and you will be tasked again this year with a lot of graduations. And, you know, we'd love to keep the likes of Sevi and Shota and everybody else for 10 years, but graduation is a requirement. What is it going to be like for you this year, taking the mantle of one of those top leaders to help the rest of the team, maybe some newcomers that are coming in this year, thrive and succeed as you have done in your time here?
Yeah, as you said, like we really wanted like to keep all the players with us, not only Shot and Sevi, but like players that I played with, so, like Toby, T, like these players, they helped me a lot, and they helped me to build the person that I am nowadays. And yeah, I believe that like for the new people here to keep the same standards, like we want to teach them and I want to show them like what Gannon is and what we represent wearing our badge.
No doubt. And speaking of former teammates that you have, you mentioned T. T actually is one of many that sent us a video about why Gannon was such an important program for him. Let's hear from T as we continue with Day of Giving with men's soccer.
Hey, it's T, former men's soccer player here, and the reason I celebrate Gannon is simply because of the opportunities that the program provided for me, from learning discipline, learning structure, but also pushing me on and off the field on a daily basis over the course of the 5 years that I had, and I was fortunate enough to play. The program is so important because, you know, from the time that I was there, everybody has the chance to grow together as a team. You meet people from all over different parts of the world. And, you know, it's important to continue supporting the program because, you know, as I've seen over the last few years, you know, the program has continued to push to those levels of the conference tournaments and national titles. And even in the most recent years, winning the conference title for the first time, which is great to see, even as a recent alumni. But, you know, some of my favorite memories as well include when we unfortunately lost to Franklin Pierce in the regional final. However, you know, that was my last game ever for the men's soccer program competitively. And those moments kind of stick with you for life because, you know, you push through, became so close, but it's the moments of like traveling on the bus and the journeys and the moments that you kind of get to experience over the course of the years of the team. So memories like that will always stick forever. But I'm so grateful for the program for giving me that chance.
Wise words from T, who has, of course, been such a huge part of the program, even post-graduation. Head coach Billy Colton joining us now. Busy time for you. I'm sure staying as busy as you can be as you get through the spring.
Yeah, you always think, well, the season's done, things will quieten down, and then it's just a completely different type of busy.
Yeah.
Like at times a less fun type of busy because obviously the games are what you want and that's what you look forward to and work towards. But it's different now. We're trying to get our next batch of players ready and be ready again for August.
And one of the cool things that we're showing a lot of videos of highlights of teams as they come on the show today. And one of the things that I think is pretty evident with any highlight we show is the fact that there are fans packed in maroon and gold gear wherever you're at, right? Whether it was the 3 Boston trips, whether it was the PSAC championship game, which we're seeing highlights of now. You have such a great community following and great community support. In the years that you've been here, what about that fan base, the fan base we have, stands out from maybe among the rest when you go on the road and you see other teams that you play?
I think it's wild that we got supporters 3 weekends in a row in New Hampshire, in Boston.
Yeah.
And it wasn't people that just lived close to them areas. It was people that traveled from Erie to get to them games. And you see that support, and, you know, we wanted to leave a day early for Bentley in the second round, and the NCAA pays for. We sort of spoke a little bit with our alumni about that, and within a few hours, our alumni had raised a few $1,000s to that to happen. And you don't know, but if that doesn't happen, we're not quite as ready for that Bentley game. That got us an extra session at Bentley. It allowed us to see the facilities even more, be more comfortable, recover from the long trip. So I think that the support we have definitely helps. And in times like that, how quickly they raised them funds was incredible.
Your alumni base is superb. We just heard from T. There are hundreds of others who want to stay with the program, who want to give back to the program. How important is that for you to be able to continue to build that base? In fact, you had a social media campaign of what Gannon means to me in the weeks leading up to this. Take me through how important it is for you to continue to build up that alumni base and keep it strong.
It is, and I think part of that is when they're here, you know, we go back to Bentley again, we made the players very much aware that we was leaving that day because of the alumni.
Yeah.
Without the alumni, we wouldn't have done that. And Sevi and Shota both wanted to send a video in our group chat with our alumni and thank them, which I know the alumni really appreciated. And I think sometimes the more you talk about it, the more then they understand exactly what the alumni does for the program, because it's something that is very much in the background and they're not always going to see or know about unless you talk about it.
No question. And as we look towards this year's Day of Giving and the next season ahead, you have a couple of donor matches which are sitting out there, which could be very beneficial. Of course, the travel trips alone are enough for the Day of Giving support to be helpful. But what are some of the other things that this funding can be used towards as you get ready for the upcoming year?
Yeah, we're big on our video analysis and our data analysts. And then programs are expensive, but they're extremely beneficial. It gives one of the things we do is it gives all the players an individual video playlist from games where they can just watch themselves, watch every touch, watch every action, and it's all done automatically and ends up in their inbox. Operations is important. You know, the last few years we've lost a lot of local games. We've lost 2 games against Mercyhurst. We lost games against Notre Dame, which was an hour and a half, Lemoyne, which was just a few hours. So we're having to travel more to get them high quality games to increase our strength of schedule, to give us the opportunity to make the national tournament, and then just making sure that we can make the student athlete experience as high as possible. That goes with gear, that goes with making sure they're eating right on our trips, after games, before games. And we just try to do things as professionally as possible. So then hopefully by the time we get to the field, all they've got to worry about is their performance.
Yeah, and they've done wonders. What a job by the team this season. And next year is going to be right around the corner. And again, your support will help men's soccer continue their success, not just in the conference, but in the national stage as well, coming off their Elite 8 run. Coach, appreciate you coming on, my friend, and best of luck as we roll through the offseason here.
Thank you.
All right, men's soccer, one of the many programs who was extremely, extremely successful this past year, joining us on the show. Before we get to our Student Government Association, I want to bring in Carrie one more time because we have a pretty cool announcement to make in terms of a goal that we just reached for the athletics side. We've been talking a lot, Carrie, about some goals, some donor matches, some things that we can strive to exceed, but we hit a pretty big goal for athletics just a moment ago.
Yeah, I mean, when I jumped on earlier, I was excited to say that we were just a little bit under 50,000, and I really wanted to reach that before lunchtime, and we are officially there. We have raised $50,200. Is that what?
Yeah, that looks correct. Yep.
Okay, yeah,
Maybe just a bit over.
yes. So we're just a bit over, which is so exciting. $50,202 with 532 donors, which is it's just simply amazing. So we're 50% of our way towards our goal. We have a couple more hours to go. A lot of more exciting people to hear from, and just keep pushing. We appreciate everything that you're doing for us.
No question. All right, Day of Giving. Again, we want to say thank you to everyone who's been a part of this through the support. And again, we've been hearing from our athletic director, Megan Morphy, about just how important Day of Giving is. But she also has a message of thanks to you as we hit the halfway point of our Day of Giving and nearly the halfway point of our live stream.
Hey, Night Nation. Day of Giving is off to an incredible start. You're doing great. Please keep supporting our student athletes and our programs here. We're so grateful for every dollar, and we truly appreciate the impact you're making on our athletics program. Thank you.
All right, continuing through our halfway point of Day of Giving. It is noon. It is lunchtime. We've reached $50,000. That means you are permitted to eat lunch now. And make sure you continue to watch our live stream as we are here until 1:30 p.m. today. And then we are also here throughout the remainder of the evening from 5 to 7:30 p.m. So make sure to join. Matthew Nicolo, the president of the Student Government Association, is joining us now here on our Day of Giving live stream. Busy time for you, Matthew. You're really having a lot of downtime. What has it been like to get to be a part of SGA and just the student body as a whole this year?
It has been just extremely dynamic this past year. I mean, we're coming off our 100-year anniversary, and national championships are spreading around, and the intensity and the energy is high right now. So student body is definitely feeling it as well.
One of the things Dr. Ewing said when she was on this show is that we were wondering how we would be able to be better than our 100th year celebration, right? Because the centennial year, Day of Giving, was a huge success last year. How do you top that? But it just seems like we've been able to do that, whether it's projects or student experience or things of that nature. What have you experienced this year just in terms of the student excitement to being a Golden Knight?
So I think, we're coming off a big year, so the momentum is definitely building, and we're going to continue to do so. And now, 100 years in, we look to 200, and we're going to just continue to build that legacy that Gannon has created thus far. But some of the big things that we've accomplished this year, we finished the high mark this year, and we opened the nightmare section, which is absolutely pertinent to enlightening the student body and creating that engagement and that electric atmosphere all of us dream for when we come to the game. So it's definitely been a great year so far.
SGA such a big hand with athletics and making sure that the students are participating. One of the things that we've seen at events is students are coming out more than ever before to see athletic events, whether it's games inside the Highmark, whether it's games at McConnell Family Stadium, events at the pool, other fields of competition. What have you seen from your perch from SGA and maybe the combination with athletics of how important the engagement of students toward our teams are?
It's extremely important to start off. And, we had COVID years a couple of years ago, and, we had that slouch, and as did everyone.
Right.
But, coming out of that was our big, problem. How do we get those students back into the seats, the stands, and to help support our team? And, by doing that, we did just that. And, we brought that energy into the room, and we were seeing our athletes, absolutely excel on the field, on the court, everywhere. So it's really exciting to see these past couple of years and how much growth has occurred.
No doubt. And I wanted to ask you, just from your position, of course, as SGA president, Matthew, it's a lot of undertaking as well. But, I think we've seen the enthusiasm on campus from students just be at an all-time high. What have you liked about your position, your ability to work with students, and kind of what this presidential position has meant to you in your time at Gannon?
Yeah, so I'll give a little bit of a background as what we do for SGA, because it's a bit different here at Gannon than some other universities as well as high school. So the Student Government Association basically serves as a liaison between the students as well as the staff, administration, and faculty. We support about 250 clubs here on campus, and we also have our Ruskin campus as well that we are supporting, and soon to be our Ursuline campus. So it's continuing to grow. And, just involving the students, giving them something to do, looking forward to, events that are occurring on campus, and making sure that everyone has that sense of belonging here on campus.
So Day of Giving, we still have 8 hours to go before it's over, and still lots of time for you to be able to make your gift to help our student athletes and our students and our faculty and staff thrive at Gannon. How important is Day of Giving to you, both as a student, as a member of SGA? How important is it over the next 8 hours to continue to see that support from the community?
It's extremely important because I believe it's one of the backbones that makes Gannon University what it is. We are a family, whether you're an alumni or a student, faculty, staff, administrator, whatever you are, even a community member. This is a place that everyone belongs and everyone loves to come back to. So it's providing that necessary support in order to get us to where we want to be and continue, riding that train of success and sticking to it.
Throw out some of the favorite memories of the year for you, just whether it's from your perch at SGA, just as a perch as a student, some of the things this year that have been the coolest for you to get to see and experience.
The highlights, yeah, most definitely. So I would say the homecoming, that was extraordinary, and we were coming off a great year the year prior, and everyone was really looking forward to those events, and we blew it out of the water this year. I mean, that was a spectacular, series of events all leading up to the homecoming weekend.
Right.
And that brought everyone together. And I still talk to alumni to this day. I just had a conversation with one yesterday down in Pittsburgh, and he was like, that was one of the best weekends. That was one of the first time I've been back since, the 90s. And I haven't had more fun than that I was, when he went to school here. So it was really cool to hear. Yeah, definitely homecoming was one of the top ones. And then we went into Maroon Madness is always one of our student government events that is always a hit. I mean, so those of you who are unaware, we give away Chick-fil-A during finals week in the library. And if you've ever seen a line at Gannon, which it's not often, but that line gets pretty crazy. The library gets crazy. Yeah, it's pretty chaotic. It's always doing a big circle around the library and then out the doors, and everyone's coming back for seconds, and everyone's just happy to be a part of it, and de-stressing during finals week. That was a spectacular one, and we'll be doing our Maroon Madness this year on Monday of finals week, so that should be exciting as well. And then we go into the new year. We had a lot of exciting stuff, including, helping wrestling with their engagement and getting a lot of fans there. And that turned out to be a huge success. And then they went on to win national championship as well as several All-Americans. So that's just, it's encouraging to see that when fans show out, it does truly make an impact. Those athletes don't want to compete for, in front of nobody, but they were able to do so, and they were able to do it successfully. And it's really important to see everyone coming together and creating that family that we call Gannon.
Yeah, I think the big thing, and you would probably agree with this, is that when it comes to the students, this year has been very apparent that everyone wants everyone to win. Whether you're a student athlete, whether you're just a student trying to do well on finals, whether you're part of an organization as you are, it just seems like there's a willingness and wanting to give back and support whatever it might be that you're attempting success at. And I think that's been really cool to see, certainly from my spot, and I can imagine from your spot too.
Most definitely. I think we're now creating this environment of winning, and it's infecting everyone. And I love to see it, because that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it a hit. So, yeah.
No doubt. Matthew, before we let you go, you're Purchase Student Government Association president. You get to interact with a lot of students and alumni. What would be your message of advice maybe for incoming students or students who are considering coming to Gannon?
I would say definitely come. It will change your life. And when you get here, do everything you can, because it's all about the experiences. Don't hesitate. Go out, fill up your plate, and see what happens. You'll be very excited as what comes out of it, because I came in again and I wasn't sure about a lot of things, and I ended up just kept stacking things on my plate, and I walked away with one of the best experience of my life-changing experience, most definitely.
It really is amazing. The more that you do, the more excited you become to want to do more. And you've experienced that, and so many have experienced that. There's so many things to do here, and that's really the neat thing about it. Matthew, I know you're busy the next couple of weeks. Celebrate Gannon coming up as well. In fact, I think it just started about 10 minutes ago, so we're looking forward to seeing a lot of people out there at that, celebrate our student athletes and more at the Highmark Event Center. But appreciate you taking a few minutes with us today.
Thank you.
All
Make
right.
sure to donate.
Absolutely. SGA President Matthew Nicolo joining us on the show. I want to thank you for your support as we continue along here on our Day of Giving live stream. About an hour and 20 minutes left in our morning/afternoon portion, and then we will get to the evening session. And speaking of the evening session, some of the guests that we'll have on the show then will be SACCO President Zoe Gaetjens, women's water polo. We'll hear from baseball, acrobatics, and tumbling, and women's golf, men's water polo, men's wrestling, men's and women's swimming, and softball as well. Just a few of the guests that are lined up to join us in the back half of the live stream for Day of Giving. And again, we want to thank you all for your support. And as we go now, we can take a look at the leaderboard just a short while before we get to women's cross country, who will join us on the show. You'll also hear from head coach Rob Aarons as well during this portion as we take a look at what that leaderboard has to give. Give me 1 second. Let my computer do what it needs to do. And here we go. All right. So the leaderboard is as follows. You can see again, over $50,000 donated. Carrie McKay just came on about 5 minutes ago and said that we were at about 50,200. We're now 500 more over that number, 50,700. So keep it coming, folks. We really appreciate your support. Seriously, we cannot do this without you. Even things like our live stream today, without your support, we would not be able to do all the great things that we love to do from an athletics perspective. And also, too, as an athletics administration, we appreciate your support as well. There are several departments within our administration that funding really helps support us being able to give back to student athletes. So we certainly appreciate all the support that you give to us. 8 hours remaining in our Day of Giving. 8 p.m. tonight is when the Day of Giving will close. But of course, you're always welcome to make a gift, even when Day of Giving is not in session. 534 donors from our athletics. Taking a look at some of our challenges, we're inching closer to that gold challenge match. Just 337 more donors needed to reach our challenge goal for both the $50,000 and $25,000 challenge. Some other individual challenges as well. Baseball with their Grand Slam challenge that they are looking for a donation match. We're getting there. We've got some momentum with that baseball challenge, as well as we do with our Friends of Gannon men's soccer match. Make sure Billy Colton was just on the show. Of course, that is such an important part of the men's soccer season, is making sure that there is funding to be able to go on these trips and and get the team ready to go, to play well and to compete at the highest level. So make sure to take a look at all of those. All of these matches and donation challenges you can find on this Give Campus website, and that QR code in the top right corner of your screen is how you can find all of those opportunities to be able to give. As a university, we're over 1,170 donors, nearly $200,000 raised so far in our Day of Giving. We're nearly 80% of the way there for that goal for our Celebrate Day of Giving 2026. And here again, a look at some of the teams that we have as well on our show. Hold on, Carrie's going to give me one piece of information here. We're gonna pop her back on the show. She's the one that's being able to feed me all this information and be very helpful here. Carrie, what update do you have for us?
We have a new match that was offered, or I guess it's a challenge for football.
Okay.
One of our alumni who was recently up for our alumni weekend last weekend, which was a huge hit. It was so exciting to see all of the boys back on campus, and just like not a day had passed since they were back on since they were on that field. But so one of our football alumni just offered, I believe it's like 1,000 some hundred, I can't remember, I should have been looking, for like the next like 23, if the next 23 donors reach out and donate towards that match. So that's really exciting. It's not like a money-based match. It's a donor-based match. So whatever amount you want to give, I think the smallest amount you can donate online is $5. So if like the next 23 people donate to football for $5, he's going to match that and amplify that by over $1,000. So that's really awesome. Very gracious. And I know that the football team will definitely support it, because I mean, you heard from Coach Eric first thing this morning some of the things that they're trying to implement, the new defense program that they are running, and the new technology,
Player to coach communication.
yes, that will be really helpful and instrumental in their success. So get online, give towards that match, and thank you to our alumni who are continuing to support in such exciting and different and initiative and good ways for our athletes.
Yeah, we talk about the alumni base and just how special and important it is for people who have graduated to continue to support. And we're seeing that with so many donation challenges and ones that are coming in even as we speak. So again, you can go to that website. Carrie, thanks again for giving that information. We're looking forward to, for football, you can go ahead and help with that match and so many of our other sports as well, as we take a quick look at, again, some of the sports that you can help support on our Day of Giving website. All right, we're going to get to women's cross country in a moment, but we're going to get to the head coach of both the cross country teams, Rob Aarons, before we do so, who's joining us on the program here for our Day of Giving Athletics live stream. All right, Coach, still a busy time in the offseason. We just saw you in with a recruit a few moments ago. There's never a dull moment in this time, but it looks like a lot of positive and exciting momentum for this team, both men's and women's, as you go into next year.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in our spring, season here, getting some good training in, get some competitions on the track. We've really seen some big improvements, and just continuing to build towards next year, building those bonds together, and building our future teams with our recruiting efforts and things like that.
There's so many historic milestones as an athletics program we accomplished this past year, and both teams as a whole did very well. They continue to climb up the rankings ladder in terms of the conference and then the regional, but you had some individual history yourself, and it really was the first piece of history on the athletics season, and that was Emily Bowers becoming the first female competitor at the NCAA championships for cross country. How important of a season and of a moment was that for you in terms of a launching pad for your program and getting student athletes to know just how important cross country is to Gannon?
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool. I mean, you're showing the video here. I'm kind of distracted looking at the screen there, but just seeing the reliving some of those memories there and things like that. It was just an awesome experience, for everybody involved, and to really see, what is possible, and really just all the support from everyone connected with our program, but also, across campus, and within our athletics department, just to see, the how excited everyone was, for us, and being supportive in that. But I think probably the coolest thing was just seeing the group of our student athletes that made that trip out to watch and be able to witness that, see it for themselves and support their teammate. That was really, really cool.
Day of Giving is such an important day for both of your teams. Of course, you have lots of things that will help assist you with offsetting some of the costs. Of course, cross country is one of the sports where you're on the road more often than you are at home. Take me through, as you get ready for the season, how the funding and support from today can help propel your team forward into next year.
Yeah, well, one of the biggest things, I know our guys mentioned this earlier in the day, but we use a lot of that to fund one of our team training trips. So where we get to go away for a couple days and get off campus, get some different places to run, but really, focus that time on setting us up for a season where, we are well connected and kind of accelerating those team bonds and that building that team culture. So that's super important and does a lot, to help set the tone for our year. So that's really the biggest thing. And do just want to say, we actually just crossed over 100 donors with our page. So that was really, really cool. Just we've had a ton of support up to this point, and just want to really thank everybody for the support.
Yeah, more than excited for the season upcoming ahead, Coach. As you get ready for next year, what are some of the things we can look forward to for cross country next year? I know you want to bring more than just one to nationals as we get ready for next season.
Yeah, that would be the goal. We're continuing to build, make progress with our team, and have some really good athletes that will be joining us next year, and a super strong group coming back as well. So yeah, it's going to be fun to see, how high we can climb next year.
No doubt. Can't wait. Let's go ahead and bring on a couple of your student athletes. Head coach Rob Aarons of men's and women's cross country joining us. We'll start with Megan, and then work our way forward as cross country is getting set for another year ahead. They're always working. They're always out in the community. It's really the most forward-facing team, if you will, of Gannon, because you're always out running, Megan Ickes. Take me through the offseason, kind of how things have been so far with this team, and as you get ready to go into your senior season, what you're most looking forward to this year.
Yeah, we've had a lot of our team kind of just take this as a big like training block, and we've seen a lot of them make a lot of jumps. The winter can be really hard. It's really cold and eerie, and the wind can be pretty bad when you're running. But a lot of our new freshmen that came in, they've made a lot of big jumps this season, and it's been really great. And they've actually made even this past fall season just phenomenal. The team dynamic has really changed since they came in, and I'm really looking forward to having one more season with them and just really kind of enjoying being there.
No doubt. And, you look at the way the season went last year. It's always neat because you get to start off the season at home with your race in Pleasant Ridge Park. And then you really, from there, you just took off, right? Both teams with a first place finish at the YSU meet. And then from there, you just continue to be successful. We all know the story with Emily and what she was able to do at national championships. This program feels like it is literally right there to being one of the preeminent programs in the country. How special is it to be part of these historic moments and moments where you can tell you are helping make a difference to the contributions of the program?
It's honestly so cool. It's both cool because you see all of the support that Emily had, and also there's just that level of excitement as well where you're like, I could be a part of something really big. And even if I'm not right there when it happens, I will have been with these people who are going to do it the next year.
Take me through Day of Giving and what it will help support for this team. You've been a part of the program for a few years. What the funding will help do to elevate your program next year.
The big one that Coach already said is going to be that team training trip. It's a really great way for us to kind of get bonded right when we get here. And it also kind of sets us up to establish what we expect of each other and also what training is going to look like for the season. And it kind of just connects us all and gets us ready to go and compete as a team out there.
And I imagine some of the most fun memories that you have are during those trips as well. That'll probably last a lifetime.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there one in particular that is coming to your mind in terms of, one that you'll sit around the campfire someday and talk to your former teammates about?
Honestly, it's all just a lot of little moments and giggles.
Yeah.
Typically that's kind of what even happens on the run. So I would just say in general, just being together.
What makes it so exciting for you to be a Golden Knight in the time that you've been here and what you look most forward to about your final year?
Honestly, I keep saying it, but the people, this team is really great, and it's a super special group of people.
No question. And we can't wait to get to see what you accomplish this upcoming year, and the team looks strong again for 2026. So best of luck, Megan. Looking forward to seeing you this season. All right, let's go ahead and bring on Anna, our final women's cross country student athlete for this segment of Day of Giving, as we're just past the 12 o'clock hour. It's been a quick couple of hours already on this show. Anna joining us now on the program. Anna, another great season for this team as a whole. You come in as a freshman and you're part of a history-making team this year. What was your freshman season like, and just coming to campus and kind of ingratiating yourself into everything in your first year?
It was honestly incredible. I mean, you come in as soon as you move in and are already started with training, and you come
Probably
in
before you move in, right?
Yeah. But you come in with a family of people who are ready to support you, and you feel so loved.
You know, with this group, I talked with the men's team about this, is it just seems that there's a bond there because, you know, let's be honest, you either love running or you hate it, right? Like, and so if you're part of a team that is one that does running for a living, you have to have that close bond. Just explain to me from an underclassman perspective how important that team bond was to you, and maybe part of the reason why you picked to come here.
It was so important. I mean, from just visiting the school before even committing, like I knew it was a group of people I wanted to be around. And I think we just create a community that is ready to support each other and lift each other up.
What were some of the most special moments from the season, whether it was when you were competing, when you weren't competing, some of the memories that you have from your first year?
Our team training trip was awesome.
Yeah.
And then just, I mean, running together, as Megan said, like you make so many memories on our long runs together when you're running so many miles. And then like just watching Emily compete at nationals, that was a pretty cool experience in that whole trip as a whole.
A motivating factor, I imagine, to get as many runners as possible to national championships. Watching her, what was that moment like, getting to see one of your teammates reach that pinnacle?
It was so cool. She does so much work, and we all do so much work. So getting to see her achieve that was amazing. And then kind of knowing, okay, if we keep working and keep trying what we're training, that could be us at some point.
And indeed, and that is certainly the goal as you get ready for the season upcoming. You have a really great core group of community support, and I think that's something that a lot of people see, whether it's at your home meet to begin the season or on the road. I get pictures, I feel like, from every parent, every friend of the cross country program. I never have to worry about photos on the road because I'm always giving them. What does that mean, that sort of community support that you get every single meet when you're out there? And I said this to the guys team, sometimes I imagine you feel alone out there when you're running, if not for that community support.
There's so much support, and cross country is a hard sport because you're not in a stadium, so there's not people watching you at every moment. But our fans and people who come out to watch us race are always running all the way across the course just to cheer us on, and it does mean so much.
Yeah, they have to be active and involved too, because otherwise you're gonna miss you running on the course and things of that nature. Anna, looking forward to the season ahead. It's going to be a great year, I know, for both men's and women's cross country, and I can't wait to see what you accomplish. Best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, women's cross country joining us on the show again. Them and every other program you can give by going to that QR code in the top left-hand corner of our screen, actually right-hand corner for you, left-hand corner for me. And again, our big thanks to all of our teams so far that have joined us for Day of Giving. We're going to get to women's lacrosse right now in just a moment with head coach Sarah Killian and a couple of student athletes. We're going to start with Charlie Hunter, who's standing there at the, yep, Charlie, you're first. And so again, I want to thank everyone already for being a part of our Day of Giving. All of you who have given so far, thank you. We're over $50,000 already in donations. We'd love even more to reach our goal of $100,000, and we've got more than 7 hours to do it. So again, thank you to everyone for being a part of our Gannon Athletics and Gannon University Day of Giving, which goes until 8 p.m. tonight. All right, let's go ahead and talk to Charlie Hunter, who has gotten milestone after milestone after milestone, both this and last season for Day of Giving. Just surpassed 100 career goals earlier in the year. Already got 100 career points earlier than that. And one final home game coming up tomorrow morning before the senior season ends for you. Charlie, take me through kind of this career and what it's meant to you being a part of this program.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's like a bittersweet end. Yeah. I would love to have a couple more games, but I think just from freshman year to now, I've just grown so much as a player, and my teammates really supported me. And with the coaches, they believed in me to hit these milestones and just things like that, where they pushed me to be the best I can be.
When you got to campus in your first year, did you ever anticipate, I guess, what were your expectations? Did you ever think that you'd get a chance to hit these milestones, be part of the team like this, and what kind of you can reflect on now as you get ready to end your senior season?
Yeah, definitely coming my freshman year, I was scared, but there was
understandable.
There was a lot of upperclassmen that kind of took me underneath their wing and showed me the ways of just being a competitor and getting those starts and stats and stuff like that, and just helped me along the way to transition each year, and then just practicing on my own to be able to hit these milestones.
You made a great mention of you learned from the upperclassmen when you started in your first year, and now here you are as one of the leaders of the team trying to do the same. What messages are you passing along to some of the underclassmen as they prepare for future years, and maybe just some of the words of wisdom that you have for your teammates as you get ready to depart?
Yeah, I'd definitely just say, like, enjoy the moment when you can. it's very short, 4 years feels like.
Yeah.
But I think just on your own time, practicing and getting your skills honed in each year, progressing, and just having fun with your team. It's the best I can say.
Day of Giving is such a special, important day for so many in all of our programs. I know obviously this is your final season, but I was talking with a couple of seniors on the program as well, and the saying is of leave the place better than you found it, right? Take me through what Day of Giving does to help support this program and how it can help support the program into the future, even following your graduation.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with just equipment, travel, and just like our spring break is a very big trip for us to face other teams and different conferences, and just being able to travel to different states where maybe not always can go to, and just being able to see different competition than when we would in conference. But it just kind of get us ready for season, that spring break trip. That would help us out a lot. Kind of gives like the start, like competition. So.
And it helps a little bit with warmer weather too, because
Yeah.
you're one of the sports that starts in February. And I mean, you tough it out. You play rain, shine, sleet, snow, hail, whatever, but it's not easy to have to do that in February. And again, Day of Giving really helps with those opportunities. Charlie, appreciate you coming on. What a wonderful career for you. And we can't wait to see what you do in the future, whatever those endeavors might be.
Thank you.
All right, Charlie Hunter joining us. We're going to bring on Zadie in just a moment here as she joins us. We go from senior to freshman for the Golden Knights. Freshman defender Sadie Norman joining us on the program, part of our Gannon Athletics Day of Giving. Almost to the end of the semester, Sadie, I feel like the year has flown by, and I'm curious to get your perspective from your first year as a freshman, what that has been like for you and just how quickly the year has gone.
This year has gone overly quick. Like, it's like, I feel like I got here, we started immediately, like, moved in, team meeting, day after, we're starting practices in the morning. And then just like the first semester went by so quickly. I think everybody says that your first semester will go by the quickest. And then with the amount of fall ball we played, it was like gone by in a blink of an eye. And then we come into spring semester and it's like we look forward and we're like, okay, we're a non-conference, we hit conference, and now it's over. Like there's no time.
Right. And I feel like, a lot of teams have been saying on the show that the off season is almost the longer part of the year than the season itself. You get to the season, and I don't want to say the hard work's already done, but you've done so much training up until that point. Do you ever get a moment to just kind of reflect on just how busy you indeed are in season or prior to the season when you're training? Because again, student athlete, you have a lot of things to juggle. Take me kind of through what the key is in balancing all of that as a student athlete.
I think the biggest balance for me was time management. I think the first thing I did was get a planner, like Coach Skilly told us to.
Smart.
And that was the best thing that I could have done, because I still feel overwhelmed, like trying to manage it all, especially like with how rigorous school has been. You have to take a second and reflect on how much you have done and be proud of yourself.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's also difficult as a freshman. Everything feels new coming in. So that's not always easy. And you and so many others have done a great job of managing it. We talked about Day of Giving, the community support, such a big part of Gannon Athletics as a whole. Take me through kind of what that community support has meant to you and what it will mean to you and teammates in future years here on this campus.
I think where our team sits, we really need all the support we can get from the community. I think right now, moving into next season, our community support means so much to us, just knowing we have so many people backing us, and like moving forward into next season, we have so many people ready to watch us grow and ready to watch us become better as a team and all together.
You get one opportunity for another home game coming up tomorrow after a big win against Edinburgh earlier this week. Take me through what you maybe a message of offering the fans to come out and watch you one more time, and what that would mean to get to see a full house at McConnell Family Stadium.
I think that would be amazing, especially for our seniors, watching them go. I think this is a really tough class to watch us go, especially Charlie, because we're going to miss her a lot. But I think having a full stadium, having the support for our last home game and for our last game being at home, that would be amazing just to end the season.
Yeah, no doubt. McConnell Family Stadium going to be a busy place on Saturday and Sunday. Sadie, we appreciate you taking a few minutes with us, and bring on your coach as we continue with women's lacrosse for our Gannon Athletics Day of Giving. 12:30 we've got women's soccer waiting in the wings, competitive cheer and dance happening as well. And Dr. Iwadenko going to join us in just a few minutes as we wrap up our portion of the show for the morning and afternoon portion. Sarah Killian joining us now on the program. What a quick season it's been. We're nearly the end of it. You've got one game left to go. Does it always feel this fast that you start in the fall, you're training, you're going, and then boom, the season's pretty much done just like that.
Yeah, I would say it definitely goes by in a blink of an eye, and just soaking up the last couple practices, the last couple games, especially with the senior class. I think they started a really big impact for us. There are a lot of leaders on our team, and they're going to be really missed, but I can't believe the season's almost over.
Yeah.
It's really wild that our last game is tomorrow. We're wrapping up, and it just feels like it was August yesterday.
Yeah, literally. Take me through the senior class and what it's meant to you. You know, you and Charlie have that handshake that you do before every single game. It's one of the coolest things that I get to film throughout the year. But the impact that this senior class has had on the program and what it will mean to you to honor them one final time, even though it isn't senior day tomorrow.
Yeah, I would definitely say our 4 seniors are very impactful. I mean, 2 of them are senior captains. Unfortunately, one had to end her career early just with an injury, but definitely Charlie's going to be very missed. She's a big leader on our offensive end and our defensive end. Again, Kayla Thompson is a very huge vocal leader again on our defensive end. And then same with Alyssa Lurch. She's very impactful in our midfield. And I've been with them now for 3 years, just starting with them when they were sophomores. So seeing them grow from sophomore to senior year is very awesome. See their growth, see their impact on the field, and they're going to be very missed and very sad about it. So hasn't hit me yet, but yeah.
But maybe on Saturday. I won't try to get you too emotional now. I know you still got a game to play, but you know, Coach, when you look at Day of Giving, it helps with every single program as you look forward into the future, whether it be the off season, the season next year, how that funding can help continue to propel your program forward.
Yeah, I would definitely say the funding would help just with our team sticks. I think that's something we did this year with the entire team of getting them sticks and helping with future classes as well as gear, and that big spring trip that Charlie mentioned earlier just helps us with that out of conference play, with that regional schedule, wanting to lead into, you know, NCAA play. And that's always our goal is playoffs and the PSACs, and then as well as regional play. And that out of conference schedule really helps us really prepare for the PSAC play. We have a very dominant schedule in our conference. We have a lot of ranked teams. So just preparing for that out of conference always helps.
Looking for an undefeated week this week as they get ready for their final home game of the season coming up on Saturday. Coach, can't wait to get to see you in action tomorrow. We hope the rain holds off just enough, but you'll play rain or shine because that's what lacrosse does. So appreciate you coming on the show, Coach.
Thank you so much.
All right, women's lacrosse joining us on our Day of Giving live stream. We've got women's soccer waiting in the wings as we continue along with our program. Again, want to say thank you to all of you who have already donated. And if you were interested in giving, there's more information that's always and forever going to be in the top right-hand corner of our live stream. That QR code, you can go ahead and join. Again, our live stream happening until 1:30 today and then 5 to 7:30 p.m. this evening. We're going to go Jesse Watkins first with our Day of Giving live stream for women's soccer. Sorry, I had to pick someone. I'm sorry. But happy to have women's soccer on the program. Again, a fall sport that had another great season, but it just feels like it's been so long since we've gotten a chance to talk to women's soccer. So, Jesse, here we are in April. The weather's getting a little bit warmer. You're getting to a point, I feel like now maybe where you can start training more outside, getting ready for the actual year as opposed to just being indoors. Take me through the off season in air quotes and what that's kind of been like so far.
Our off season has honestly been really good. This is my second off season with the team. I think last year we did a good mix of running and, you know, technical work and then games. And I think that's honestly been so impactful in how I've been able to transition from spring to summer when I'm working out on my own. And they give us tips and tricks and things to do over the summer that will prepare you for the season. So I think the spring has been really good.
Take me back to when you first stepped on campus, this now completing your sophomore year, and you're a Maryland kid. You didn't travel crazy far, I guess, in some terms, but still it's a jaunt to have to come here and transition to a different kind of life. What has it been like, your experience so far at Gannon, and kind of what it's meant to you as a big part of this team?
Honestly, it's been amazing. During when I first started, you know, my recruiting process, and then I had a couple of hiccups throughout the process and I ended up at Gannon, and I'm really glad with my decision. I think that it was something I had trouble making because I just wanted to have a good experience in my last 4 years playing soccer. And when I came in, everybody was so welcoming and I was so happy to be with everybody, and it just made me feel so comfortable. And I feel like I've started to really excel. And even though these are my last 4 years of playing, I've started feeling more comfortable in the field and feeling like soccer is finally becoming easy, and I'm feeling more of a veteran player.
And I think that again, you know, comes with time, right? And you've shown just a great knack to be able to grow in such an amazing way. This team had so many amazing accomplishments this season, and doing it whilst told with a lot of adversity, right? Whether it was with injuries or the competition of the PSAC, which is always a difficult conference in women's soccer. As you look to next year, Day of Giving really helps with all those sort of things. You go on so many different trips, whether it's road trips, things of that nature. What that funding might be able to help with just from a player perspective.
Yeah, I think that our preseason play, our first couple games of the season, they're usually not conference games. Those really help us get our feet. They make us feel more comfortable, and we can adjust to each other before we start playing the PSAC teams, which are usually harder competition. I think that the money that comes in really helps us to just gel well together and get those games in that we really need.
Yeah, no doubt. What are you looking most forward to about next season with just a few more months until you start kickoff of games?
I'm really looking forward to coming in strong. I was talking with my family about it, and I'm really excited for next season. I'm always excited to play soccer, but definitely next season, I'm really excited to be with the team again. I'm already sad, even though I haven't left yet, of leaving them. So I just feel like once we come back in and I'll have I'll be older, I'll have more of a leadership role. I feel like I'll be a lot more confident on the field.
And a lot of players coming back.
Yeah.
You'll see a very similar team to last year that you do for this upcoming year. It'll be exciting. Another great run we expect for the NCAA tournament. Jesse, thanks again for coming on the show. And now Vic can stop bothering you. She has to be in this chair now. Thanks again, Jesse. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, let's bring in Vic Wheeler as we continue along here for our Day of Giving live stream. Junior defender, New Jersey native, as she joins us for our Day of Giving live stream. Another big part of that Gannon back line that was so solid through so many parts of the season. Vic, let's look back so far through your career, the expectations coming in and kind of where you feel like you are at now, just in terms of your student athlete experience on campus here.
Yeah, so my expectations coming in, we've had so many role models. I remember my freshman year having like Lyra Bermudez and Gabby. They just set the bar so high with where we want to go for this season. And it's always like we want to win the conference, win the NCAAs. So I feel like now like the goal hasn't changed and the standard is still there. And we're always pushing to just be better as we were last year. So I just feel like coming in, you always just, even if you're a freshman, you just have to make the impact that you're given that Colin allows you to.
No doubt. And you have a coach who's so supportive and a group of assistants who are so supportive as well. We'll hear from Bex in just a minute. But, you also have a great community that supports you as well. The women's soccer community is strong. Of course, you have a lot of great fans at your games and people who root for you, and student athletes, of course, are there as well. Take me through the importance of that community support for you and the team and what it means to be able to help you get through each and every single game.
Oh, it's great. Even the scrimmages, like in spring season, there are always so many fans there, and it just shows us our support. And even when we travel, we travel to Shepherd. I remember freshman year, like Kutztown and Westchester, and even in the beginning of the years, we travel to West Virginia. It means so much knowing how much they support us. And, they are there with the same goal as they want us to do really good. So it means a lot.
Yeah, no question. And as we get ready for this season, I know there's a lot of excitement as to so many players that are coming back and the makeup of the roster and what you look forward to. What are you most excited about this upcoming year as you said, get through your spring scrimmages and then eventually start playing games in September?
I'm just excited to get back and just start playing. And I'm mostly really excited to just I feel like we've been so close so many times to winning the conference and being like, winning first in the tournament. And it's always the last game where we fall short. And same with NCAAs. I feel like we've outplayed so many of these teams, so we just fell short. So I'm just really excited to get back and just, get that tournament, get that ring, and then go as far as we can in the NCAAs.
Over under on 1.5 Sports Center top 10 plays this season.
Top plays. Obviously, the Maddie Miller goal was insane.
Yep, she was on there. That's why I'm setting it at 1.5. Can you get to 2?
With which one's better? Or
No. Can you just have 2 total top 10 Sports Center plays this season? Do you think you can get on Sports Center twice?
Oh, I feel like we can. There are so many good goals. I mean, Olivia Dixon, probably all of her goals are insane. I know she had a lot of good ones.
We had a lot of submissions for the SC top 10. Maddie got on there, but I think the over is probably feasible for you guys as well. Good luck this season. Vic, can't wait to see you back on the field this fall. All right, let's bring on Bex Young, assistant coach, who is working with both the men's and the women's soccer team. She is a do-it-all assistant coach for this program, and it's all on the bloodline when it comes to soccer in this area. You and Dan, who's at General McLean, of course, the two of you just know this game so well. You love this game so well, and it's been cool to get to see you and this team just blossom in the way that they have. How gratifying is it to be able to coach here and be a part of the sport you love so much?
It is, honestly, it's why we show up to work every day and give our best. You know, I think the team, certainly on a women's soccer, I'm here talking on behalf of women's soccer.
Yeah.
Our girls are just awesome. You want to show up and give your best for them every day. They do that for us, and it's so rewarding to see the fruits of their labor, so to speak, that, you know, we've been so successful. As Vic talked about, you know, we've maybe some unfinished business in certain areas, but you know, you want to show up and give your best because the girls deserve it, and they give us everything that they have for Gannon.
What are you most looking forward to the upcoming season ahead, and how maybe Day of Giving can help support that?
Yeah, so obviously we've had a lot of really strong teams historically. You know, Collins obviously built the program into a really good spot. And I think it's the opportunity to go out there this year with such a strong group, you know, a lot of strong players returning, welcoming the new players in as well to help elevate. And I think that what we're most excited for and where the support can come is just elevating us to do what we haven't done yet, in terms of, you know, maintaining the support, you know, nutritionally, able to fuel our athletes to compete at the top of their game, or able to, you know, support through strength and conditioning this fall, so that we remain healthy and that we're able from a performance standpoint to go all out every single game. That's where the support can come in to keep our players healthy, happy, and loving Gannon women's soccer.
You mentioned unfinished business and some excitement as to next season. How do you take that fire in the belly, if you will, and turn it into positive energy for next year?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think that the girls are really hungry for it. There's fire, there's hunger, there's desire. I think taking the summer as a great opportunity to prepare, not only, you know, in terms of a rest standpoint for us coaches, but you know, preparing with, you know, what sessions, how we're going to structure the preseason, and how the week to week's going to look. I think we're going to have a really good opportunity to maximize our group.
No doubt. And the season's coming up quicker than we know. It's going to be here before we know it. And I know you'll work hard until then to get the team ready. Bex, great to see you. Enjoy the summer. Hopefully you get a little bit of downtime here and there, but we'll be talking soon.
Thanks, Isaac.
All right, women's soccer joining us on the program. You can give to women's soccer and all of our athletics programs by scanning that QR code at the top right-hand corner of your screen. Gannon Athletics Day of Giving continues. Again, we've been hearing from so many incredible individuals and people who have such a huge way to be able to give and help out wherever it comes. I want to give a chance to talk to a couple of other individuals before we get to competitive cheer and dance as to what Gannon Day of Giving mean.
Hi, former Tri-Beta members, former Yellowstone travelers, biology majors, folks I may have had in environmental issues, honors, or regulars classes over the years.
And hello to our pre-professional alumni who we've advised over the past 40 years. From medicine to veterinary, dental, and chiropractic, pharmacy, podiatry, and our med lab science students.
So what are we reaching out for? The coolest project, though, is that we've got a project right next to the greenhouse called the Tiny Forest. In that tiny forest, we planted 432 trees on campus. And it's going to be a place where it's going to make oxygen, recycle CO2, beautify the campus, and become a really cool research project for students, too.
And we're going to plant more trees as well.
Yep. And we hope that maybe some of the initiative's funds could help support putting solar panels somewhere on some of the campus buildings.
So what are we asking you to do today?
Well, what are you waiting for? Donate. I'm sure the button is
somewhere
on this video, right?
Yes, the button is both on the top right-hand corner of your screen. It's also down at the bottom. Gannon.edu/Day of Giving is where you can go to learn more about Gannon and Day of Giving. All right, let's bring on competitive cheer and dance. Alyssa joining us on the show from the conclusion of the season, which was an incredible conclusion of the season. First of all, congratulations from the game day performance, the highest finish ever in team history. I can imagine just based on that and by the excitement of the entire experience that Daytona was a pretty cool time, was it not?
Yes, it was so much fun. We were so sad to have to come back. We had such a great time there.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'd love to spend a few weeks down. And when you're doing as well as you are, you'd probably like to compete twice, 3 times every single day. Take me through in your time on campus. You're, of course, local, going to Mercyhurst Prep. You come to Gannon. I'm sure you're somewhat familiar. How gratifying has the first couple of years here on this campus been for you?
I kind of always knew that I wanted to come to Gannon, even given going to Mercyhurst, because we have great health programs. So I always knew I wanted to come here. And it just was such an extra plus that Gannon had such a good cheer program. So I've always knew I wanted to come here, and I really just love being on campus. I made so many friends, especially being on the cheer team. So it's been a really great experience.
How gratifying was this season, and especially the way that you finished and the success that you had in Daytona?
It was amazing. I mean, last year we got third, so we were all so excited about that. But this year, especially going into the first day, being in second place, and we've never had that before. So we were all just so excited to be in the spot where we were, and we had so much enthusiasm to continue.
When you look at this team and how close of a bond you share, and you have to when you spend as much time as you do as a team together, how important is that team and that bond aspect to you as you go through your career as a student athlete? You're always busy, you have things to do, but how do you lean on your team for that support day in, day out?
Truly, I wouldn't be able to do it without my team, especially when you're competing on the mat. You're constantly talking to each other, telling each other, good job, you got this. Specifically, before we do skills and stunts, me personally, and I know others on the team, we always will talk to each other in the middle of our skills and cheer each other on. So we truly couldn't have done it without each other, and it really helps keep the energy up as well.
Let's talk about a day of giving. You've now been a part of this program for a little while now. Obviously, the big one is making sure your Daytona trip is as good as it possibly can be. But what other things can the community support, the help from Day of Giving, really help with the competitive cheer and dance team? There's a lot of things that go into a season, right? I mean, things that you really don't think about, I guess, I suppose, as a community member.
Right. Well, we have multiple performances. So we do homecoming and our fall showcase during the fall, and then we go to many different competitions as well during the spring. So the support can help fund our new props for our routine, and then also help take us to more competitions and more experiences.
And that is the thing, competitive cheer and dance. You have your Road to Daytona showcase, which is amazing, but it's one of the sports that you're on the road more often than you are at home. And that support will really, really help as well. But again, want to congratulate you, Alyssa, on such an incredible season, a job well done in Daytona, and just setting the bar even higher for years to come. Thanks again for being a part of this show, and can't wait to see what the team accomplishes next year.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's go ahead and bring on Mary as we continue along in our Day of Giving live stream. Competitive cheer and dance joining us on the show. Yep, Alyssa, you're all good to go. As we move along with our competitive cheer and dance squad, again, an amazing finish in Daytona, 2/3 and a team high second place in the 3 competitions that they had. Mary joining us on the show right now. What a whirlwind of a year. It always is, right? It goes so quickly. Have you had a chance to reflect kind of on the season and what this was like being a part of the team this season?
Yeah, it was definitely an experience because a lot of us this year were returners to the dance team. So usually we have to like rebuild from day one of preseason and then gain that type of team bonding again. But however, because a lot of us were returners, we had the ability to go in straight into preseason with the freshmen we did and build a really good relationship with them. So we've had a really good team bonding from day one all the way to nationals and now postseason.
And I imagine with a lot of returners, you get to impart a lot of your wisdom on some of the incoming freshmen and new students that are there. How important was it for you in that group to be able to help the freshmen through the tough times in the season, maybe similar to what you had as a first-year student?
Yeah, I remember being really stressed out my freshman year and looking up to the third years and fourth years on the program just to provide advice and stuff. So now as one of those members of the team who do and are able to give advice, I do try to make myself more open and willing to let the freshmen ask questions. And I think that's something that the program is very good about, is if they have questions, they're very welcome and open to come to the upperclassmen first before asking coaches, which I think is something that not a lot of other programs have been able to do overall, because we've just built such tight community.
Take me through the gratification that you have from the season. Of course, Daytona, as it always is, was a great success. You had a few other competitions as well, including some highlights from Road Daytona Showcase, which we're showing now. That was also a great success. When you look back at this season, what will be some of the memories that you'll have that you'll be able to talk about for years to come?
These routines, both team performance, hip hop, and game day, have been the hardest routines we've ever done. It was such a big stamina-based, skill-based, trust-based, performance-based. Everything we needed to have in these routines this year was so challenging in a way that we've never been challenged before. And even with our homecoming routine and our other routines that we've practiced, it's just been such a huge jump from previous years to now this year, just a huge skill jump. We've been able to challenge ourselves, been able to try new things with an open mind, where in past years we might have been more closed off. And I think this year we've been really able to just be a whole new open perspective. And it's just been amazing to watch us from day one until postseason. It's whole new routines, whole new people.
We know Day of Giving is about the present and the future and what you're excited about for years to come. But I want to ask you just in closing about the excitement about future years for this team, because you still have a decent amount of returners coming back next year. The underclassmen have been trained well because many of you helped to train them this season. What are you most looking forward to about next year already as we look ahead? I know it might seem too early, but I'm sure there's already a lot of excitement about what's in the mirror down the road.
I know next year is going to be a lot of fourth years on the program, so it's going to be a bit of an excitement and sadness to see all of the freshmen, the fourth years graduate. But I think next year we're really excited to just keep on building routines that are incredibly challenging and stamina based. We've had amazing routines that set the standards so high, and we're just really looking forward to continue to building those standards even higher.
Yeah, what a year it's been this year. Next year going to be even better, we imagine. Mary, thanks again for spending a few minutes with us, and we'll hear from your head coach.
Thank you.
All right, Kelly Mikowski has had an amazing year, and I don't mean academic year, the start of 2026. You've done basically everything, Coach. You welcome your first child into the world, and then, oh, by the way, we're just going to set a program record for our highest finish in game day. Have you gotten a chance to put into perspective and just kind of think back to what this last 4 months has been like for you?
Oh my goodness. It has been a whirlwind. I mean, fall in general seems like it was like 2 years ago.
It feels like 5-10 years ago. Oh my gosh.
So it's been crazy, but it's all good things. Like I think being busy and having all these exciting things, like it can be a little bit stressful, it can feel like a lot, but it's all, like especially as the season wraps up and you get to see these amazing finishes and like how much everyone has enjoyed their season and how grateful they are and just all the opportunities that they're able to have, it makes it so worth it. So it's been crazy, especially, growing my family and everything along those lines. But just with how amazing these athletes are, they've, welcomed me back and open arms to my family as well, which has just made it, that much more worth it and made it easier to do my job. So
we talked to you before Daytona. You mentioned how excited you were to be able to go down there and coming off the Road to Daytona Showcase, and the teams, all of them showed out so well. How special was it to get to see how well they did just as a team perspective? Yeah,
it was amazing. I think that, they do a really great job of taking every opportunity that they have and squeezing every ounce of anything that they can get out of it. And I think that's why they've been able to be as a team and as a program so successful. So it's just amazing to even be a small part of that.
As you look towards future years, Day of Giving, as you know, is a day that just is so important for so many of our programs. What can the support from the community do to help your team moving forward?
Absolutely. So, the involvement of alumni, the involvement of the community, we are just so grateful to be a part of Gannon Athletics and have the opportunities that we do, but we're always looking for more. We're always looking at ways that we can enhance the athletes' experience, get them even more experience before heading down to nationals in Daytona, and looking at anything that we can do for them to create more memories, get more experience, get more I guess opportunity for them. So any donations and any support in that realm helps us be able to do that for the students.
Man, what a year it has been. Hopefully you get a little bit of downtime. Hopefully the baby sleeps a little bit for you this summer so you need a chance to reflect. But Coach, what a year and an incredible success. Congratulations on the high finish and then the great time at Daytona as well.
Thank you.
And more to come next year, I have no doubt.
Absolutely.
All right, Coach Kelly Mikowski, thanks again for joining us. Competitive cheer and dance. What an end to their season in Daytona. His history-making moments as they go through another year of success. class, and next year still one to come as well. All right, we got about a half hour left on our Day of Giving 2026 live stream. 5 to 7:30 will be our second session. We have Dr. Walter Iwanenko joining us in just a few minutes. But before we get to that, I think Cleve Wright is here from women's basketball, joining us in what has been another great offseason, another great season for the women's basketball program, joining us now on our Day of Giving live stream. What's up, Coach? What's new?
Just coughed right in the microphone.
It's allergy season.
How does that feel good?
My allergies were terrible, man. I don't know about you, but I have terrible spring allergies. It's rough.
I've been lucky. Of course, I waited way too long to mow my lawn, and so then it was crazy.
You can't win with your lawn these days.
No.
You cut
At least it's green.
That's true. And then 2 days later, you got to cut it all over again. Anyway, I digress. Take me through the offseason, how things have been going. You've done a lot of recruiting trips, getting players ready for the year. Kind of take me through kind of what that's looked like this season.
Yeah, we started postseason. We had first 2 weeks of postseason were partial weeks because of Easter break, and we have 11 returning players.
Right.
And so we've started that. That's went really well. Had our end of year meetings. Evaluation meetings, been on the floor competing, trying to get better, working on our leadership and all that stuff going forward. And then also just this past weekend had our incoming freshmen in for their celebration visit. So we had our entire team on campus for a couple of days, next year's team.
Yeah.
For a couple of days. So, and then we finish, well, not finish, but then this weekend is the end of postseason and we have our banquet. So team banquet, and then they go into week before finals and all that stuff. So, but things have went really fast. We have been on the road recruiting as well.
A busy time in the off season, as is a busy time in the season. You've been at this for long enough to know how important this day is in particular for your program and other programs as well. Day of Giving, take us through kind of how this day can help support your program moving forward.
So basically what you just said was you're old and
that's
how is this? That's what you said.
That's your assumption. It's not nice to assume things. Maybe I was just calling you wise.
Well, to your point, the Day of Giving is so important to our program. We have the support that our program gets financially through the community, through family, through alumni, just helps us to do all the things that we do. I mean, this past year, we were able to take our team to Hawaii.
Right.
Our seniors are going to graduate, and our seniors that have been here 4 years, now Maddie's kind of 5 years. We got, we'll say 4 years. Bree Claxon, 4 years.
Right.
Bree went to Puerto Rico her first year, Montana her second year, Vancouver her third year, then Hawaii her fourth year.
Man.
So we can't do those things without support. And I don't want people to underestimate what those trips do for our program, the team bonding that we get, the connectedness that starts out the year. It is a huge rock to the things we're able to accomplish, and we certainly don't take it for granted. That people. We want them to know we're so thankful for them and thankful for the people that contribute to our program and contribute to Gannon in general. I mean, I just think that's so important for us to not only be just about women's basketball, but to also be about Gannon and about not just about Gannon athletics, even though obviously we are, but to be about Gannon and love where we're at.
When you look at the way that you've been able to construct teams and have success the way that you have, you mentioned all the players that are returning. They understand how important the relationship to themselves and the community is. Take me through just why you try to reflect your team as a reflection of the university. And what I mean by that is them supporting each other just as the community supports you, and why that's so important to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that is important, I think for me as a coach, and I think within our program that I want our players to get is that, we weren't put on this earth to serve ourselves. We were put on this earth. I believe the Lord put us on this earth to serve each other, to serve Him, of course. But then the second thing is to serve each other and to love each other. And so we want to do that in everything that we do, whether it's community service, which, by the way, tomorrow is Day of Caring.
Yeah.
I'm getting Day of Giving, Day of Caring. Yeah. And so we'll be out in the community serving with probably hundreds. I don't know what the exact numbers, but there'll be hundreds of us out in the community doing different things. And then we have our own community service that we do. We're very blessed this year to, we're going to recognize it at our end of the year banquet. We did a community service event with one of our local elementaries, Grandview Elementary, and raised $7,000 for the AHN Cancer Center at St. Vincent. And again, that's just a way of giving back, and just to see how that affects our players when they are given the opportunity to serve or given the opportunity to help. To me, that's, that's going beyond what's on the court, going beyond winning basketball games, going beyond. And that's, if the Lord, I just finished my 40th year, because again, I'm old, but I just finished my 40th year of coaching. And so if we've just done this, if I'm just doing this, if our players are just doing this for winning, it's just not fulfilling. It's not what we're meant to be. It's not what we were created to be. And so it's about much more than that.
Cleve, you just finished the front nine. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Thank you.
You've got plenty of time left.
Well, you could at least say, gosh, you don't look that old.
Well, I don't feel like that's, you already know that. I don't need to.
Or you don't act that old. Now, that's true.
Hey, listen, you act young and wise, my friend. You act young and wise. It is always great to hear from somebody who is wise and also doesn't act like they've been there.
Doesn't act it. It knows how to be wise, but doesn't act it.
Hey, listen,
Is that what
you're wise beyond your years, brother. Can you just take the fact that I said you just got off the front nine at 5 under par? And
I will take that. I will take that, and I will zip my mouth.
Hey, you're great, man. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate you. I know you're busy.
Appreciate you.
Cleve Wright, head coach, women's basketball. They'll take part in Day of Caring tomorrow as well. And as he mentioned, they'll be presenting that check to AHN Cancer Center for the Day of Caring that they just had a few months ago for part of their initiative with Grandview Elementary School. That was an amazing opportunity to get to see just so many wonderful people coming together and featuring for one great cause. And again, we care so much about our external relations here at Gannon University as well. All right, getting set to have President Dr. Walter Ironenko join us in just a couple of minutes, and then we'll wrap up the early afternoon portion of our Day of Giving live stream. 1:05 p.m., you have just under 7 hours to be able to give. And again, every single donation matters, whether it be small, medium, or large. We truly appreciate your support. Let's go ahead and take a look at where Gannon Athletics is right now. We just continue to have so much gratitude and appreciation for everyone who's been a part of this Day of Giving. Right now, athletics sitting at $55,450 and some change, 553 donors so far. And again, thank you to all of you who have already made a contribution. We cannot wait to put that gift to good use and make sure our student athletes are performing at their best, both on and off the field of competition. Nearly 1,300 donors, by the way, is a university initiative as well. So we're getting close to that goal of 1,500 donors, and want to thank you, whether it be athletics or the university as a whole, for supporting Gannon Athletics and Gannon University Day of Giving. All right, as we get ready for Dr. I to join the show, we have some teams that are in competition currently right now. Baseball's playing against Seton Hill. I'm going to be heading out to that game after the first part of our live stream. Huge home doubleheader. So once you get done with this live stream, your plan of attack is go to Celebrate Gannon and then go to McConnell Family Stadium so you can watch baseball in their two huge doubleheader games against the Griffins. Acrobatics and tumbling, of course, currently in California as they wait to see if there are some individual event national finals going on. What a season for head coach Eddie Wommeldorf and the Golden Knights as they made it back to the NCATA team championships and took on Oregon last night. And women's golf is deadlocked in a battle right now with Westchester for the team championship in the PSAC tournament. If the Golden Knights get the W, they will win their seventh, and I did not stutter, seventh consecutive PSAC championship. Both teams just teed off about an hour and a half ago, so we'll keep you up to date on where things stand with that event as we learn more. In fact, I am checking as we speak right now. They're right neck and neck, just 2 strokes separating the Golden Rams and the Golden Knights. And two of our women's golfers tied for the top spot on the leaderboard as well. Alex LaCure and Anastasia Lopez right now tied for first, where that comparison is concerned. So let's take a few moments and hear from some of those teams that are currently on the road. We'll begin with women's golf and head coach Scott Stano speaking on behalf of women's and men's golf today and the importance of Day of Giving. Coach Scott Stano of men's and women's golf getting ready for the PSAC tournament, which at the time of this recording is getting set to begin next week. It'll be in progress right now. Coach, just talk about the season so far. You're in the busy part of the year. Women's golf at PSAC is looking to win their 7th straight. Men's golf getting ready for the regionals. A fun time of year for your teams.
Yeah, we're excited. It's the dog days of summer, quote unquote. You know, we're near the end of the regular season and in postseason play, but you know, it was a good semester. We've been progressing each and every week, and now we're ready to peak here at the final stretch.
Day of Giving is such an important day for so many teams, but especially, you know, teams like yours where you're traveling literally every single week except your one home tournament. Take me through what a day like this means for the team and how important it is to be able to get that support from people.
Yeah, it's a big thing for us. All the donations, we want to say thank you. Thank you to, you know, everyone who has donated to our programs, both men and women's. It is a vital part for us. I mean, we do travel a lot. We travel great distances, and all those donations help us to continue to have a great strength of schedule that we have now and to play in great tournaments in which what we do.
Let's talk about some of the things that maybe that funding will help in terms of Day of Giving.
Yeah, sure. So any time for Day of Giving, any improvements that we can get in our sim room, you know, we're looking towards getting new screens and stuff like that. We look towards, you know, getting better equipment and stuff like that. You know, last year we used a lot of it towards, you know, rain gear and umbrellas and different things like that. So any little bit helps us and helps the program to get better.
What would you say is a message that you would have for all the people? I know you mentioned thank you, but just what it means to you to have that support.
Yeah, I mean, our alumni base is fantastic. It is great between the men and the women golfers, and to continue to hear from them, even just fans that come out and watch us play. We had one come out this week. You know, we have a couple super fans that come out and watch the men's every week. Like, I just can't say thank you enough to them. I mean, their time invested in us is very important. You know, any donations that they give us is really important to us as well. So I just want to say thank you to, you know, everyone and all the Gannon fans and family. You know, it really helps us out quite a bit.
Day of Giving continuing here with baseball head coach DJ Gannon, who's in action as we speak and will be a little bit later today. But obviously, Coach, I mean, Day of Giving, just such an important day for everyone on campus. Take me through kind of what it means to this team in terms of the importance of getting those gifts and continuing your success that you had.
Yeah, I think every little bit helps with all the different activities and different equipment and things like that we're trying to put together to give our guys the best possible experience. Just excited to see all the different names and all the different people that get involved and are willing to help out.
You've been a part of this Gannon family for a few years now, and I'm just curious, over time, as you've gotten to have recruiting classes come and go, that alumni base has continued to build, right? Is that something, and how much do you value that? Is people coming back, continuing to be a part of the program even when their time has been done athletically?
Yeah, I think that's the best part about all of this, right? Creating those relationships, having those connections, and having guys that want to be involved one way or another, and even if that's just shooting us a text after a big win or something like that, always cool to see those names and those faces coming back.
What are some of the things that some of these gifts and funds will help contribute to as you go through future years?
Yeah, looking to get back to Florida for a spring trip in the future, so that's always a big part of our fundraising efforts, and always need some extra equipment, pitching machines, some recruiting services, things like that can just make us as prepared as possible going into games.
Take us through, if you would, just the excitement around this program as a whole. You've had an incredible winning streak, 2 essentially at the time of this recording, and you're in a good spot to make the tournament and hopefully make a nice run. What are you most excited for about the future of this program and how these days can kind of help contribute to that?
Yeah, honestly, just excited that we're in a good place to compete for postseason games. It's been a few years for us, and this group that has been here has gone through some tough times the past couple of years, and that build up to get to where we're at now. Just excited for those guys to get to experience postseason baseball and get to that ultimate goal that we've set out for the last couple of years.
All right, Coach Gannon, obviously recorded because his team's playing right now against Seton Hill. That game just got underway a moment ago. The Golden Knights and Griffins in a big 4-game battle. It's actually number 1 versus number 2 in the PSAC as we sit it right now. But want to thank Coach Gannon and Coach Stano for joining us for the importance of Day of Giving for their programs, although they are in competition right now. We're going to get to Dr. Walter Iwanenko in just a moment. Before we do, though, we actually have some exciting giveaways that we want to talk to you about. Carrie's going to join us. We just heard from Matthew Nicolo, our Student Government Association president, a little while ago, and he actually dropped off some goodies that you, the community, Carrie, might be able to get your hands on.
Yeah. So shout out to SGA. They always come prepared. They're always thinking of how they can get people involved, incentivize people to join in on all the great things that we're trying to achieve here. So thank you, Matt, for dropping off some exciting giveaways. We have 22 items to give away. So I am challenging you, if you are listening in and you have or have not maybe made your gift yet, any gift, big or small, make that gift online to whatever incentive you want to go towards, whether that's athletics, your favorite team, or if that's SGA or the Gold Challenge, whatever you want to give to. There are so many different great programs that you can contribute to. If you make your gift and you screenshot your receipt, find me from, what did we say, 3 to 5?
3 to 5 at McConnell Family Stadium.
3 to 5 at McConnell Family Stadium, where I'll be watching our baseball team hopefully bring home a win for us for today. And you can be one of our exclusive winners of our exciting giveaways from SGA. And if you can't make it between that time, we'll update you when our live stream starts back up after our break at 5. And you can come find us at the Recruiting Lounge. But we would love to see you in person and just thank you for all of the amazing support that everyone's giving. So first 22 supporters that can find me around campus, I have a special gift for you.
And watch some baseball, too. 2 big games for the Golden Knights coming up. Actually, now they're in the bottom of the first right now. All right, thanks, Carrie. Let's go ahead and bring on Dr. Walter Iwanenko, who is all over today with Celebrate Gannon with Day of Giving. When is there ever a dull moment on campus? Well, I can tell you there's not. It's so exciting to have him back on the show. We've only seen each other a couple of times in the last month or so. What is this? I feel like this is date number 10, if you will, here. It's great to see you. What a beautiful day. Celebrate Gannon Day of Giving, and really going strong so far in the first 12 to 13 hours of this thing.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And it's all about our students.
Yeah.
So, by the way, it is good to see you again.
I was going to say, it's been too long.
I missed you.
What have we been doing?
Well, yeah, we did a little traveling.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's been fun.
It's been awesome. And, we've been talking to so many of our athletic programs, so many of which you and I went and saw and traveled. And it's just so awesome to get to see the community support, from our perspective, from the athletic side, because we continue to win. We continue to have success, and success is amazing, but it also costs. And I think it's been great to see the community support. And from your perch, just take me through what you've seen from the community this day and every day so far this year about the willingness to want to give back to Gannon University.
It's been amazing, and it's at times overwhelming being Erie's athletic program, being downtown, being a destination for our community businesses. It's both it's awesome, but it's a big sense of responsibility that we have to make sure that we're taking care of our community. Our community takes care of us, and that's what we see on days like today with Day of Giving. It's about our students. It's about all of our students here at Gannon, but our athletes. It's almost when we had the basketball national championship, they did an interview with a student, and the student was like, "This is all I'm used to. I'm just used to winning and going to championships."
Championship game.
Yeah, and because she came to Gannon when we had that transition year in basketball, and we only lost 3 games. That's all she knows.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
Yeah. So, but the amount of work it takes to get there, the perseverance, the resilience from our athletic staff, our students, we need the community support. We need the support of our alumni, our donors to help fund winning. And I half jokingly say, winning's expensive. I mean, winning costs money, and which the university is 100%, on board with. But when you look at the additional cost of going to championships, whether it's, regionals, national championships, those are added expenses. So every dollar helps.
No doubt. And we've gotten to see the support already so far with still more than 6 hours left to go in this thing. And I was talking with Dr. Ewing early on the show. We were on this Day of Giving live stream last year, and it was the big centennial celebration, right? We all remember how incredible that year was, celebrating 100 years of Gannon. And you wonder, I'm sure, in planning rooms, how do you top that? How do you surpass that going into 26, 27? And I feel like between the commitment from the students, the willingness to want everyone to succeed, the buy-in that we have seen this year, I almost feel like we've topped it. Can you put into perspective just how this year has continued the momentum from what the centennial year gave us last year?
I don't think we ever stopped.
Yeah.
So, to your point, the centennial year was an incredible year of celebration. Going into this year, that excitement never stopped, and we've seen it both on the field, in the pool, on the court.
Yeah.
But we've also seen it in our community. If you think about what's happening in downtown Erie, we've got, people are complaining about traffic now and then because the waterfront is torn up, but it's progress.
Right.
I mean, there is extreme progress happening. The connection of our campus to the water is going to happen. It's going to give our students more opportunity. The businesses that are coming and establishing a downtown Erie presence. It gives our students more places to go to. It gives our students to work. So it's a momentum that goes beyond Gannon. But as I'm in the community talking, I can't tell you how many people to just thank us. Say, Gannon's doing a great job. Yeah. Or I've hired a student, or I've met a student, and it's the best employee I have. They are the best employee I have. That's what makes it all worth it.
I agree. And I want to ask you about this specifically too, because we talk about the students and how it is, everything is about them, and it certainly is. I was in a meeting with some Gannon 101 facilitators. I'm going to teach the class next year. It's a student and faculty and staff connection in which we have 1-on-1 for each class. And to a man and woman, they all told me that they felt like the buy-in and the exuberance and excitement from students around campus being involved in extracurriculars, wanting to go to athletic events, wanting to support, was higher than any year that they have ever really seen. Is that something you've seen yourself too, that everyone, whatever they're doing, is so invested not in what they are a part of, but what others are a part of too?
I got to tell you a great example that I saw last night leaving campus, and it sounds like something really minor, but it struck me as pretty powerful. So I was walking out, heading out on 7th Street, AJ's Way, under the arch, and there were some young ladies, sorority, taking a picture under the arch, which many of our students do. It's a photo op, right? So sorority pose, and there were some other students studying at a table, and they got up and said, "Can we have that walkway crossing sign?"
Right.
They said, "Can we move that sign for you? It'll take a better picture." Like, they had nothing to do with it, but they saw it and they got up and they reached out. It seems very, very minor, but the fact that they would get up, stop doing what they're doing to help a bunch of other students, they had nothing to do with it.
Right.
I was like, that's what it's about. That's that energy that you're talking about, where people are truly here to look out for each other. We leave no night behind. We leave no night behind, no matter how big or small. So I'm seeing it every day on our campus.
And it just continues. You mentioned momentum. It just continued throughout all of this season. We've seen it, of course, on an athletics end, a historic year from the athletics perspective, and really haven't had time to even process it because we've just had week after week after week after week. He and I know really, really well.
Yeah.
We got to enjoy so many great things. And, as we look towards the future, you look at Day of Giving and Day of Caring tomorrow and celebrate Gannon. A lot of things to celebrate, because not only are we celebrating success here, we're getting ready to officially expand to Ohio with the merger of Ursuline College, which is coming up at the end of June. I'm sure that's another exciting part of your schedule coming up in the next couple of months.
It is. I've been spending a lot of time on the Ursuline campus. I have to tell you, just great bunch of faculty and staff, and the students are incredible. Mission fit, beautiful campus. We can't wait until Ursuline officially joins. But in many aspects, that feeling of family has already happened.
Right.
And what a better way, when you look at tomorrow and the service and what's going to happen, there's no greater gift than for one to give up their time, because it's something you can't make more of it.
Right.
You can just, once you give it up, you can't get it back.
Right.
And I think that symbolism of our community coming together to give back, that mission driven spirit is alive and well on the Ursuline and in our campus down in Ruskin, Florida, and Tampa Bay.
And we just get to see the Gannon spirit expand, not just to downtown, but everywhere it already is and everywhere it's going to be. And that's really, really neat to get to see. And you can be a part of it as well. We still have 6 hours plus left in this, Dr. I. And before I let you go, there are so many people, we know nowadays money is such a priority for so many. It's financial situations always aren't the greatest, but what would be your message of encouragement to somebody who's on the fence about giving to Gannon University, Gannon Athletics, as to why their contribution will make such a huge difference in what we're trying to do in years to come?
You know, many of our students, they just need a little help. They need a hand up, and your generosity can be the difference between a student being able to finish a Gannon experience and not. Your contribution helps us keep the cost of a Gannon education reasonable. And I want to leave with this perspective. Our average Gannon student debt for a Gannon degree is about $34,000 total. That's average. The cost of a new car, Google it. You guys,
I really don't want
the
to. The
cost of a new car is $40,000 average.
Yeah.
Your lifetime earning with a bachelor's degree is well over $1 million. Let's put that in perspective. Your gift helps us keep that cost down so that our students can get that best return on investment. Plus, they're doing really great things here to develop as human beings through the Gannon experience. It takes a village, and we're looking for your help to make that happen.
Yeah, I've never seen a campus that's alive and wanting to do so many things as this one here, and it's really cool to see it in downtown Erie. And so many fun festivities. Celebrate Gannon going on right now. Day of Caring tomorrow. Of course, the Ursuline merger at the end of the month of June. What a time to be alive. We thought March was busy, and it's just going to keep on keeping on.
Yeah, we're in the grind. We are in the grind.
When am I seeing you next? In an hour? Celebrate Gannon?
Probably. Yeah, that's where I'm headed to next. And then we have our scholarship dinner this evening, where individuals who have given to the institution to set up endowed scholarships get to meet some of the students that receive the benefits of those endowments.
Wow.
How cool is that?
How awesome. What a action-packed and fun day. What a great way to end the work week. Dr. I, always appreciate you, my friend.
Always good to see you.
I'll see you soon. Even if you wanted to get rid of me, I'm not sure that you can at this point.
Not looking to do that yet.
All right. I'll take it while I got it. I appreciate you, Dr. I, as always. And thank you again to the community for your support. Every single opportunity that we can say thank you for your support, whether it be being at our athletic events, being a part of these community events, or just simply giving a gift to make sure that Day of Giving is as amazing as it possibly can be. We truly, truly appreciate your support, and thank you for being a part of the Gannon family. All right, that's going to do it for our first part of the Gannon Athletics Day of Giving live stream. That went really quick. We had a lot of great live guests, so many of our teams. Thanks to Dr. Iwanenko, Dr. Ewing, Matthew Nicolo, our SGA president, our SAC co-president, Paco Palafian, and Zoe Gations will be joining us in the next segment as well later in the afternoon. We're done for now, but no fear, we're back right around the time you get off of work. Our second phase of the Day of Giving live stream will be back tonight, starting at 5 p.m. this evening. We'll go until 7:30. Many more teams will join us on the show, and we'll also have some more fun announcements for you. And as Carrie McKay mentioned, our giveaway is happening starting at 3 p.m. from 3 to 5 at McConnell Family Stadium. You can get some exclusive Gannon merchandise if you show proof of your donation and you show up to McConnell Family Stadium for the baseball game. If you can't make it to the baseball game, then you can join us back in the recruiting lounge area during our live stream to get some of that gear as well. So a cool opportunity for you and a great way for us to say thank you for your gift and your contribution to the Gannon Athletics family. All right, signing off for now. Day of Giving continues until 8 p.m. tonight. We're back with you at 5 o'clock. Enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the weather, celebrate Gannon, and we'll see you all back at 5 o'clock. Take care.